Hey guys, welcome to Little Blackbird 91. Listen, we are back with Ready to Love, the last episode before the reunion, and I can't lie, thank heavens. Okay, this has been like a running competition where you just can't wait to get over that finishing line and be done with the thing. You get me? But listen, it was an interesting episode. We got to see Cam and Sahara and Angie triangle finally come to an end. Sahara said, listen, if you're not choosing me before the 12 hours, don't be choosing me at all. Was she right? Was she wrong? I mean, hey, it depends on your perspective on this situation. You know what I mean? Then we had obviously, then we also had Hussein actually sign out early because he said that, you know what? He didn't want to put somebody in a situation where they were his second best. I understand. I'm not mad at it. I get it. I'm not going to shout at him. You know, at least he's honest. Okay. And then we also had obviously Taye and our good fella Cisco, and they seem to have ridden into the sunset as well. And then finally we got Jay and we got also Kiara as well, and he met the family. And hey, I wasn't sure if Kiara was flirting or whether the friend was flirting, because at one point I wasn't sure if the friend was flirting with Jay, trying to talk about Jay flirting. I can see why he flirting, but it looked like she was flirting. Is it just me? Is it just me? Because it looked like she was flirting. Is it just me? I'm just asking the question. Did I am the only one that saw that? I thought that, you know, when she talking to Jay, the friend was talking to Jay about he flirting. I said, listen, darling, look like you flirting. Okay, talking about how he got a nice smile and all that kind of stuff. Relax your jazz. Okay, all right, relax your jazz. But I won't be doing this alone. Of course, I'll be having the fabulous panel to come on in a few minutes as well to discuss the show and discuss further what happened on this latest episode. Okay, Kiara's cousin. Sorry, that's her sister. Yeah, Kiara's cousin. Was it Kiara's cousin? Yeah. You gotta be careful them ones there. You know, they be looking at you like you're kind of tasty. You have to be very careful with them ones there. You know, yeah. Someone said Jay care less about dressing up. I hear it still. Brother said he gonna dress how he won't dress. And you can address him about that later on. So let's have a little look at some of the things that happened on this particular episode, because let me tell you now, it was a interesting episode. I think the part that really got me was probably Cam and Angie when the family were trying to save Angie, but she was drowning. Someone asked me, when am I doing interviews? I don't know if I'm doing interviews, you know, I don't even lie to you. This show has not inspired me to want to do interviews, but you know what? I have a few of the connections. I probably could. I don't think Sahara was coming on here. I saw her in my comment section when I was saying that her behavior was abysmal. So I don't think she'll be coming on here. So don't be holding your breath for Sahara to come on here. I don't told her this, and I didn't like her behavior, and I think she didn't wasn't very happy with me the way I spoke about her with Cam. But it was proved right at the very end. The crash out was a crash out. Like she been crashing out all season long. Okay, she's been crashing out all season long. I don't see the difference, right? So hey, we gonna get into this situation, but let's just quickly just have a look at this Cam situation, because I thought this was interesting, right? We had a Cam scenario where, you know, Cam's family and that
I think it would be great.
Oh.
Hey, I'm looking forward to meeting Angie's family today. With Rose gone, I still have to make a decision between Sahara and Angie. So every piece of information on this.
I just want to say that I think, yeah, I want to say that I think, yeah, that this situation with Cam and Angie was quite interesting because the family themselves, right, were pretty cool. The family themselves, like the married couple with Angie people. I said Angie needs to hang around them people quickly, blood. Yeah, I said no. Angie needs to hang around with them people. They are okay. All right. So you know, for me, I think you know, I was like, yo, we need them there. We need them over there. We need that married couple because they were speaking sense. I don't know if it was Angie's brother that's married or Angie's sister was married. I'm not really sure which one it is. You know, but yeah, no, it was interesting because I thought like when I saw how he was talking and saying obviously, you know, that he felt like Angie's scaring away love. I thought that was a really nice comment, you know, and the way he was speaking, he seemed like very knowledgeable. He seemed like a brother who really was married and was enjoying his marriage. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you get them couples that look like they're enjoying their marriage, he looked like he was enjoying his marriage, blood. You know the ones there, fam? He looked like he was enjoying his marriage.
This day is going to be crucial to my decision.
What are your plans? Like,
what I would like to have happen is to find my person, to be honest with you. Like, that's the end goal. We just have a good time every time we around each other.
Yes,
Always smiling and whatnot.
Well, that's important for her.
Yeah.
So, listen, honestly, you know, I think obviously, yeah, Cam had several interactions. I think the problem with Cam that he had is that he was never convinced about any of them. Okay, if he's really honest with himself, Cam wasn't convinced about any of those ladies. Okay, Angie had the anger problems he didn't like, and Sahara had anger problems he didn't like. They both represented women that he did not like. Okay, and then Rose also then showed herself with her little anger problem too, and she didn't want to be part of that life either. So for real, let's be very honest. Let's be very honest about this. Cam weren't interested in any of these people. Okay, Cam weren't feeling it. Cam weren't on it. Cam weren't trying to be about it. Brother was just literally trying to make his way through life. He ain't trying to hear none of that chat. Okay, he ain't trying to hear none of that chat. So it was really more of a waste of time. I can't lie to you. And you know, I felt like it was extra for no reason. You know what I mean? So yeah, for me, the fact that she obviously went at the very end and the fact that she went at the very end and you know, she decided to choose herself. I'm not mad at it. You know, okay, so what's our thought? Okay, what's our real thoughts on that situation? Because I know she chose herself, but do we think she crashed out a little bit, or do we feel like I wouldn't say it's right to crash out, but do you feel she had the right idea in terms of, you know, keeping him hot on his tail and saying he should know? You know what I mean? I feel you. So I hear it. Right?
I'm like, hold up, sir. You're close.
Hopefully her sister can give me some insight and some last bit of information that I need in order to make my decision. This date is going to be everything.
Nice.
I think obviously with Sahara popping off in the scenario, I think what was interesting with for Sahara is that I actually got her. I actually understood where she was coming from in terms of, like I said, I don't like people dragging us to the very end and we not knowing what I want. I always say this: if I'm being dragged to the very end and I do not know, you did not know, and you're not going to know. All this jazz about I won't know until the final day is absolutely jazz speak. Okay, all right. Absolutely jazz speak. Like, bro, if you gonna have me wait into the final hour and you don't know, you did not know. So him saying at the very end, I was gonna choose you, it's like when I say to my sibling, I was gonna give you that thing when I never was gonna give it you that thing. But it's like, oh, the way you're behaving, I'm not gonna give it to you now. You're lying. You were never gonna give it to them. Right? You were never gonna give it to them. Let's just keep it a buck and keep it real. You were never going to give it to them. So I need Cam to be accountable for that. Okay, all right. So that whole, I would have given it to you. I would have said I was going to choose you at the very end, sir. You would have told her a long time ago you're going to choose her. You didn't want to choose her. Okay, and it's okay, bro. Just own it. It's okay. Just own it. You know what I mean? Like, we've all said it to our siblings before. You know what I mean? So for me personally, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, come on. We've been done this. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Then obviously like the conversation I had, I want to go to this part.
Wait, we're not crazy. Because I don't have to do nothing to you on the back blocks. We will jump you at this table. I don't want to break a nut on you. I promise I don't want to break a nut.
But no, like I'm definitely here for it, to be honest with you. Like we've been through a lot, and she know that.
What have y'all been through? He's talking about the fact that
Now, obviously, you know, when he said obviously I was you know, that for him, he feels like choosing her, you know, they've been through a lot, and I think there was a specific comment he made about choosing something, and when she piped up was saying obviously you should know by now, I was like, I kind of hear what you're saying. I do. I kind of hear what you're saying. Like he didn't have to say it out loud, but he could have told it behind the scenes. Okay, he could have told it behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? If you really are feeling that person, you'd let them know so that you can spare them the embarrassment. You'd be like, hey, I'm going to choose you at the very end. People that drag people to the very end and don't tell them usually aren't actually invested in those people at all. They ain't. They ain't. You know, we watched these shows for 10 seasons now. We are accustomed and aware how these shows actually play a role. People tell people when they are feeling them. People tell them when they are the one. People tell them and narrow their choices down when they really do like the person. When we keep trying to have choices like this doesn't actually bode well for a long-term relationship. Look, Cam enjoyed the intention. Cam enjoyed the power. Cam enjoyed the fact he had options on the table. Okay, he would have probably forced the option too had he been in a scenario where he was on the reverse end of situation. So I'm not mad at Sahara pushing that thing there through. Do you get what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you should know. You should know, right? So the question comes then is, Cam, why does it take you to the end of the show to know that there's something else going on? You know? But, you know, like I said, you know, he wasn't going to choose her. And it's okay to say you weren't going to, it's okay to know that you weren't going to choose her. You know what I mean? Like, my broskies. And here's the key thing about Cam that's an issue is that I said this before. I said the problem with Cam is that is his patience going to outlast her behavior? And the reality is he found out on that very last day, his patience will not outlast her behavior. He looked like he regretted every single event with her by the end of the show. Like by the end of the show, he was like, I don't know why I'm even here. By the end of the show, he was like, I don't know why we're in this situation. By the end of the show, he's like, I don't know why this is even going on. You know? So I was looking and I was like, broski. Come on, broski. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. You know what I mean? So, hey, but listen, we're gonna get this conversation going. I see you, Sean, behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying to you? I ain't gonna be on here long tonight, guys. You know what I mean? I got some prayers to go and pray because this Ready to Love got me stressed out for no reason. No, I'm joking. But someone said Cam thought he was surprised too highly of himself. Okay. I hear it. I definitely hear it. I definitely hear that as well.
I'm just listening.
So it's about like stop.
You gotta allow her to go sometimes.
Thank you for coming. I know you had others to meet as well.
It was nice meeting you.
It definitely was, bro.
He did not earn the bro.
No, her say not end the bro. I want to be honest as well. This is my personal opinion. I think Cam thinks he was better than Sahara. Not in a rude way, but you know, like in these shows, and not even in shows, in real life. Let's be freaking honest. If you're honest with yourself, you're not gonna lie. Don't come and lie here. You know the truth. You know, you start talking to someone and you think you're better than them. Let's be, you know, we know. No, let's be honest. We know. Everybody's had a moment like that where you're like, you've dated someone and you're talking to someone, you're like, they're not on my level. But do you keep talking to them? Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's how I feel like the Cam and Sahara situation was happening. It's like, you ain't really want it like that. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't really want to like that. It's like, you thought you were better. You know what I'm saying? Hey, whether that's true or not, that made no difference. That's how you feel. But I felt that energy like, oh, bro, I think you think you're better than the situation, which is why you're not actually taking it seriously, which I don't say seriously, which is why I think you never wanted to actually ever lock it down. I'm not saying you didn't take it seriously. I'm saying that you didn't want to lock it down. Okay. And that's what happens when you do build. Yes, when you build projects and you want to work with projects, that's exactly what will happen. Because you're a builder bear boo. And when you build a bear boo, you do think you're better than other persons. Pride and all that jazz. You know what I mean? But let me get Sean on. I don't know if there's anyone else who'll come on. They'll come on in their time. So I'll get the show going as well. Brother Sean, what's Gucci? Okay. Well, he might be coming back in a second or two. Let me let him fester in there. You get me? I'll let him fester. Yeah, okay, so quickly also, I also thought that the questioning by Taye's family was pretty good, you know. I mean, the sister, is it the sis? The auntie was cool, but I don't know if it's her sis. Her sis seemed to be like she was on giving him questions.
Stresses I work out.
Did you date other women? Did you have other connections?
Yes, I did have other connections, but it was fake from the beginning.
So do you have a type?
I really don't have a type.
So even with like characteristics.
Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off. I want to see what auntie. I want to see because you was gonna keep drilling me. Like,
I sure will. I'll keep it going.
Right.
Okay. Auntie, you got anything?
Now I don't know if production told him to ask auntie or what, but I wanted him to keep firing him up. Okay, they should have kept on firing his ass up. They should have kept on going. I can't lie to you. They should have kept on going and giving him the business. Okay, all right. I was like, yo, the cousin was giving him work. You know, the cousin was putting in work, question after question. Say, hey, I gotta make sure. Okay, I gotta make sure. Okay, so I have to, you know, put that into perspective and make sure that, you know, you ain't gonna play my little cousin. You hear me? So shout out to her for putting on the work, because sometimes, like I said, these people be taking it easy on the people. You feel what I'm saying, Chu? Sometimes they be taking it easy.
Let's see what we got.
See what we got.
She ain't playing.
They came prepared, baby. Okay.
Grandma came with a sheet.
She was like, I'm not gonna forget it.
Hold on a minute. The cousin's looking like a baked bread piece of. Let me stop. I'm changed. Father, forgive me, but the cousin looking good. I can't lie to you. Okay, the gold dress, body just looking woo, 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 woo. Just looking fantastical. You know when someone just look good? You know what I'm saying? Even from the side profile, just looking, you know, just looking. Yeah. Shout out to the cousin. You feel me? All right. So I was like, oh, okay. That's okay. Let me focus. Anyway, let's be focused before I get kicked off here like Cam did, kicking off and Adrian Broner.
She wrote everything down.
Do you make each other laugh?
I got like a corny sense of humor, but for her, she's constantly laughing.
He's just
I just start walking.
She's smiling now.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Auntie came with some questions. Okay, Auntie came with some questions. All right. And did I hear the part about? No, I didn't hear the part about his corporate question. What was that part? What was that, Teresa? But yeah, Auntie came with some questions. Now, listen, Auntie asked, "Do you make her laugh?" I thought, hey, you may think it's a bad question, but it's actually a good question. Okay, all right. I'm just saying it's a good question to ask. If you ain't laughing, it's a very long relationship. But you know, again, we never get. I feel like we never really get the fullness of some of the questioning that's happening. Like, I wish they would allow us to see a minute or two of good questioning. Instead, they throw us into these gimmicks of cuts. And I'm like, bro, give us some of these questions that maybe the auntie was really asking. I'm sure there were some deep questions the auntie was asking too, you know, but we didn't really get too deep into it. And I'm sure the auntie had a question because she had a whole sheet, blood. You know what I mean? So that was telling me that she came prepared, ready to work. But they didn't want to show us that, you know? It's political.
Yeah. What are your intentions at this stage of the relationship?
So I definitely want to just continue to grow, get to know your niece and possibly marriage, kids and the whole nine.
Oh my.
And cousin's hair looking good too as well. I can't lie to you, bro. She looking good. That hairstyle looking. Okay, all right. Like, but yeah. So yeah, I wanted to see a bit more, like, you know, because the auntie asking about his intentions, right? It's a decent question, but there could have been so much more questions that could have been explored in terms of the show and trying to find out what his answers were. I just feel like Ready to Love has gone the complete opposite way from when it started, and of course, this usually happens where people just want to create drama rather than actually trying to get love. But in the beginning seasons of Ready to Love, we used to see at least a good couple questions. You know what I mean? Bro, we got 2 questions from the auntie. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, come on. Okay? Right? So for me personally, we've not got any close. And yeah, you're right. We don't know anything more about Cisco. We don't know about his circumstances. We don't know why his divorce happened. We don't know. His sister was saying that obviously, you know, said that she hasn't met any of the past people. It seems like there's a whole bag of stuff that can be explored, and all we're getting is, I feel like we're getting McDonald's. It's not healthy. It's quick. It's fast and it's easy, but it's not. It's not. Do you know what I mean? Nothing. What do we learn about this situation? I ain't learned nothing. Did you? I didn't learn nothing about this scene.
What do y'all see the biggest barrier to overcome?
Probably my career choice. That's one thing that is still a concern for her. I work now, so I'll continue to work up the corporate ladder, but I would feel incomplete if I just put my dreams and aspirations to the side.
Okay, so our brother working now. What's he doing? Wait, what happened? How did he get a job so quickly? Where's he working? Wait, who gave him a job? How do we know he got a job? Wait, what happened? Broski got a job, you know. He got a job. He's working his way up a corporate ladder. I want to know what happened. Okay. I want to know what going on, family. Because man said obviously he lost it. Like, he didn't lose anything, but obviously the corporate job thing, you know what I mean? Oh. What's the job? I'm just trying, you know, I'm not shaming him. I'm just like, I'm like, well done. Shoot, because we've been blasting you all season long about getting a job. Someone said, how far is he down the ladder? Y'all are cold pieces of work, man. Okay. All right. I want to know what kind of job he's got. I want to know, I don't want to know the perks or anything. I just want to know what job he's got so we can start moving this in the right direction. You know what I mean?
Ideal world, I get my lady, I get my career, get my kids, get the life I want. So it's like, I definitely would like to be, you know, financially stable and be able to provide a lifestyle for my wife, my kids that I myself didn't have growing up.
All right. I like that.
Okay, so he himself never had that too. Okay, that makes sense why there's some issues, right? You know, he never had the stability within his family. So I guess he's searching for that. But hopefully he can let's give him a chance. He's done something. He's got himself a job. Let's hope that he can actually push on from there as well. Let's give the man a chance. You know what I mean? Because for a man to turn it around, get himself a job, he's trying. He's trying to put himself in a different space. And I'm not mad at it. A brother that's trying, I'm going to respect that. If you hustling, you trying to be better, I'm going to respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to get a job out here, my guy. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm going to respect it. I'm going to respect it. And, you know, hopefully we're going to see some growth from his end and see better days, you know?
I thought he was a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought he was loving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just touched me like that.
I thought he was nice. A little concerned about lifestyle. I don't necessarily see you guys on equal playing field in that regard.
When Bree said,
yeah, the cousin was like, listen, he nice, but yeah, I don't see you on lifestyle. Okay, I don't see you on lifestyle. Someone said, do you think you should date if you don't have a stable job? I guess it depends what we mean by stable, and also depends on how much financial income is actually coming in, right? Because are you going to complain if somebody gets, like, an actor is actually an unstable job because you don't know, you're going to go from job to job, you don't know. So that could be classed as an unstable job. So it really just depends on the context. But if we're talking about a normal context of unstable, as in you ain't got really a job, yeah, probably not. Okay. Probably not. Just for your own well-being.
Our lifestyles not matching me and Francisco's. I think that was a concern throughout the entire process.
And I just want to see you happy. Yeah. As long as you're happy.
That's the main thing.
It's still a concern. I'm just going to trust the process. I want to trust God. And
so she said it's still a process. I'm going to trust God. That tells me everything I need to know. She's going to dump his ass soon. Okay? Well, you're going to start saying, it's still a process. I need to trust God. Mm-mm. When you start saying you have to trust God, I'm like, we're going to put that on God? I don't know. I don't know if you want to be doing that. Felicia said, obviously, he's in the midst of a divorce. He hasn't had kids yet. She hasn't met the kids. And there's instability. Okay, I didn't even know he had kids. I did not know he had kids. Since when's he got a kid, Felicia? Since when has he got a kid? I didn't know he had a child. When did he get a child? Can someone confirm this for us so we understand? Has he got a child? I'm not trying to be rude again. Just want to understand. I don't think he had kids. I don't know if he had kids with his wife. That's what I'm asking. So someone said low on his social media. So does he have kids on his social media? Does he have kids on his social media? Is that what we're saying? I don't know. Okay, maybe he has kids. I don't know. Someone has to let us know if he had them kids. Cousin's looking good. I mean, listen. Sorry, let me focus. Let me behave myself. All right, cool. Let me move it from there, bro. Now, what do we think about Uncle Tommy's message about they had nothing? You know, oh damn.
Excuse me?
What? This far because you put the work in. About the relationship that you've been developing. Now, after you will pick a place and a time to meet with your connection. And because I didn't have nothing. Gave me a car, gave me that I needed. She carried that load. And now to this day, my baby ain't got to do nothing.
Period.
Nothing. Period.
I know Tay was looking like, what the heck? I know Tay was looking, thinking to herself, I see you, wait, don't worry. I know Tay was looking like, yo, what going for the thing there? Yeah, me. I know when she heard those words, she said, it don't even sound right. Look at this.
Car gave me that I needed. She carried that load. And now to this day, my baby ain't got to do nothing.
Period.
Nothing. Period.
Talk that
so I know what it's like to be where you are and not know where you're going and not know what's next. Look at me now.
Look at me now. Amen.
Now, I'ma keep it a buck. At 20, this is absolutely fine. At 30, you're pushing it. At 40, you must be mad. I'm going to say it again for you. At 20, it makes sense. At 30, you're pushing it. At 40, you must be mad. I'm sorry. At 40, listen, you just need to be alone at 40. Okay? Nobody needs to be sponsoring you at 40. If you haven't learned to start doing it at 30, you ain't going to learn to do it at 40. I can guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying, Chu? I'm not saying that people don't need a helping hand. Okay? But what I am saying is, right, that at 40, let him help himself get to a certain level so that he can also stand on his own 2 feet. Because at 40, you've had various life experience. I said one's cut just for the Tommy time. You want to say what you want to say. Oh, I see you, Sean. I see why you want to take a little time. Huh? I see you take a little. I see you do a little tick of time. You want to take a little time for this. I see you. Okay. Okay. I see you. I see it now, sir. I see it. Okay, let me bring my panel on because certain people went and got themselves a nice little shindig. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, me. All right, let me bring my panelists on. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been chatting wasp for the last 36 minutes, trying to waste time to get you guys back on here. Because I ain't been chatting nothing but non-sensibilities, okay? I ain't even giving no deep dives, okay? All right, I can't even swim, okay? That's why I didn't join you in Jamaica, okay? I was on the boat. All right, cool. Listen, let me get my panelists on to the stage so we can get this conversation going. I know they're ready to cook. I know they got some barbecue ready to put on the grill as well. But I want to say once more again, listen, if you're in your 20s, it's okay. If you're in your 30s, just stay by yourself. If you're in your 40s, you should not be asking for handout helps and getting relationships at the same time. Okay, not that it's embarrassing. It's just that, bro, it's not helpful for you. Okay, but let me bring my panelists on real quick onto the stage. Okay, already. Let me bring my panelists onto the stage. Okay. Hello. Okay, Seaway. Okay, baby. No, don't do that, Seaway. Now, give it a little sign. Hello, razzle dazzle, baby. Oh, I see you. Hey, looking nice. What are you saying, babe? I can't hear. Wait, is it me? I can't hear you. Is it me?
I didn't hear her either.
No, I didn't hear it. No, it's you. We can't hear you. That money must be good though, because I don't even recognize you right now, Seaway. You don't even look the same. Money must be flowing in.
No, we still can't hear you.
We can't hear you for nothing. She says she's talking about money talk. That's what happens. You understand? Sure, what's going on with this background? It's a very lovely background. Well, I'll go on for the team.
You like that? It's actually it's the nighttime view of the Hudson. That's actually what I look out and see.
Bro,
it's
a beautiful
virtual reality version of it, but it's literally the New York skyline from Jersey.
I love it, bro. Be careful now, because I'll be watching.
Yeah, no, I said I'm gonna, because you about to blow up. You're gonna this year is 100,000 plus coming your way. So I said, I can't be giving any type of geolocators, so I'm just it's gonna be virtual background for me from now on. I need to be anonymous. Like,
I don't believe it.
That song, I want to be Bobby Valentino. I want to be anonymous. So I'm gonna be anonymous. I don't
believe it. I think the deacon ain't home. I think the deacon
is away from the thing.
What you say, Sid?
I think the deacon is in an undisclosed location. He ain't at home.
Yes, I like that even better.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear you, baby. We hear you.
Okay.
We hear you loud and clear. Good to hear you.
Hey guys.
We're thankful that your time. We know your time's precious now. So we appreciate.
No, I have plenty of time tonight. I'm at home.
Went on. Happy without the pain. We love it. Jay, how you doing, babe?
She said she's still online.
She said she did say. My bad, Jay. All right. How you doing, Elsa? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Getting ready. I gotta go to bed to wake up early because Love Is Blind France has me in a chokehold.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of people telling me it's been amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've not watched a single episode. Okay?
And Brazil.
I started it,
and Brazil.
I started seeing subtitles, and I couldn't do it. I started seeing subtitles, and I saw mouths moving, and I tried, and I couldn't do it.
You are allowing subtitles to block your blessings. That's okay.
You know what it is? They be talking, and then all I'm hearing, and so never heard it. And I'm like, oh.
You can put it on English dubbed if you want to hear English words.
And then English dub is even worse because then I'll be seeing the mouth moving and the words are not matching the movement. Well, you know what I'm saying to you?
Some people just it ain't gonna work out. That's okay.
I hate to get into it though. Sean, you watching Love Is Blind, France?
Je ne parle français.
Oh, gracious king. I need to get into it.
Exactly.
I'm
The
gonna try and
chat
get into
is
it.
saying that, and if you into it,
I've been
Brazil,
hearing.
the over 50s, they are just as wild.
I've been hearing the French one is good though. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm
I've
good.
been-
Otherwise, I gotta, get up early and watch those episodes and get it together. How are you, Kojo?
Yeah, I'm good still. Can't lie to you. You know, we out here working behind the scenes, saving relationships and saving marriages. So I am not fast at all. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm appreciative of the work we're doing in this season. Good. Oh, I got Black coming through as well. Shout out to Black's in the building. I was with him on TikTok earlier on as well. So shout out to Black. What are you saying, Black? You good? Okay, Black said he's in the black. No worries at all. Okay. All right. Listen, let's get this show going. Listen, you know what I mean? It's getting late in the day. You know, Sean's background is telling us what time it is. So this episode was a interesting episode. I'll tell you why. Because we got to the end. Okay. All right. As our famous brothers would say, although we've come to the end of the road. And so some of the couples came through as we thought they would. Okay. And it was interesting because, of course, some of the people got to meet the families. So I will drop the first thing. I guess, obviously, we'll review the Tommy situation. I'm sure you guys want to have your say on the Tommy, his comments to Cisco. You already cooked him. We don't cook him too much now today. The brother is still a brother. You know, he's trying to make it through, what he's making it through. So let's just watch over the clip and then we can talk about it.
Like to be where you are and not know where you're going and not know what's next. Look at me now.
Look at me now. Hey, now.
I want to ask a question. Are we being insensitive to the fact that this brother is trying to make it work? Brother told us, listen, he's climbing up that ladder. He's telling us that he's trying to grow. He's telling us that he's doing movements now. And so actually, what Tommy just said about, he used to be in that same situation. Do we need to give him a bit more grace than we actually are giving him as well? I want to know, are we giving him enough grace? Yes, Elsid.
Where is this ladder? He been climbing it for how many years? Where's the ladder? Where are we up one more step? I understand the divorce, the responsibilities of that could bring you down a peg or two, but it's like, have you stepped on the ladder? Do you know where the ladder is? I did not like Tommy's speech because to me it was a little bit disingenuous. It was just a tad disingenuous because Tommy was younger. Tommy was in his 20s. He was establishing his career as a comedian. That was him and his then girlfriend. Tommy only just married his wife 10 years ago. So he has made her 30-some years a fiance, 30-some years a girlfriend. So if you're equating Tommy's story, then Taye ain't got no hopes in heck of getting married anytime soon. Now she got to wait till what? Till he's 60 before she get a ring and get married? And she got to carry the weight for all them years some more? It was a little bit disingenuous because, again, Tommy is saying all of these things. Yes, that is all right. If you're in your 20s, y'all are building together, maybe in your 30s. But she doesn't know the weight of everything that he's carrying. She has not seen his divorce decree to see what his responsibilities are. Here come the children. What are the ages of the children? Does he have any financial responsibilities for the children? None of that is being discussed. So I'm sorry, Tommy saying that is to me just telling her, you know what, baby girl, you gonna suffer for this relationship, but it'll be all good because he gonna make it. And what guarantee is it that he can make it? No, there's no guarantee for anyone that can make it. But if she is going to take on this, she needs to have all the facts and have everything. I'm sorry, I was not here for Tommy.
Yeah, definitely hear you on that. Definitely hear you. Tommy, see what you missed. Tommy gave obviously a speech about Cisco. Well, gave a speech about not having anything, and his wife, buying him a car, just supporting him. I know you love that kind of story, and you are a firm supporter of women dragging men up by the bootstrap and supporting them. I want to know: are we not giving Cisco enough grace in this particular moment? He's now got a job. And he's on the ladder as well. So are we not giving Cisco enough grace right now with Tommy's speech? Was it not the right kind of speech? would you say?
I'm dealing with. I have such a delay. I may have to join on my phone. Is this all delayed? Can y'all hear me?
A tiny bit, but we can hear you though.
Okay, but the visual is delayed.
Mm.
Okay, well, whatever. After this, I'll just join on my phone. Because I don't know what's going on with my computer. I just feel like this is not one size fits all advice. He's trying to give one size fits all advice. And to me, it all depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking about like two kids, like El said, I think was saying earlier, like two kids in their 20s, or, you know, you guys are both out there in LA grinding together and you're trying to like really hold each other down at different points of not having things, that's fine, you know. Or like if you met someone in a graduate program, you know, at the end of it, once somebody's going to become a CPA, doctor, lawyer, something, you already know what you're building towards, then sure, you can hold them down. They can hold each other down. That's a partnership. But talking about holding down like a man that clearly is struggling in his 40s is just not good advice. Past behavior is the best indicator of future behavior. And if you're struggling and you didn't hit a catastrophic life event, like something actually happened to completely throw you off, right? Like that can happen. But it seems like this is a choice of Cisco to just be underemployed, struggling, leaning on women. And that's just piss poor advice. And I just hate the struggle love advice that seems to be always directed at Black women. Is like, it just seems a little like it's exploit. What is it? Exploit. What's the word? Help me, Sean. My brain. Exploited.
Exploitative.
Thank you. Yeah, and I just feel like because they know like a lot of Black women are looking for love, the odds are not in our favor, and so we're just supposed to take hospital husbands, hospice husbands, people without jobs, people without cars. No. But I want to clarify, there's nothing wrong with investing in a man and a man investing in you if you guys have a clear picture. I think some of the best relationships, people invested in each other early. They saw the vision. It's kind of like when you get into a business, you know, before it blows up, you're part of a business before it goes public. Those are like some of the best relationships when you invest in each other early. This isn't that. And I don't like the advice. I definitely don't like the advice.
Definitely hear you. Now I know that Sean and Black probably even have much stronger, more opinions on this as well on this. But you know, I want to ask a question, Black, if you're there. You know, does Cisco need a little bit of grace? Does he need a little bit of love here? You know, does he need a little bit of a support in this scenario? He's chosen Taye. Taye's looking to, you know, support him, you know, stand 10 toes down, show loyalty, you know, be a ride, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go with no. I don't think this is a good move at all. There's so many women who date men based on potential. So it's really the classic status versus potential. When you get to a certain age, you should have something that speaks for you at your age. Right now, he doesn't have much on his resume, no pun intended, but he just needs more to show someone that he's actually trying to get involved with. He doesn't have that. So to me, I think that Taye is not even 100% bought in on him. And to me, if you're not 100% bought in, if I get a hint or a sense that you're not 100% bought in on me, it's going to be a no. So I don't understand why Taye is playing with her heart this way, but there are plenty of women who have done what Taye is trying to do, thinking they're going to turn out like a Tommy, but it doesn't happen. So that's time wasted, that's energy wasted, and it's problematic. You know, it's going to cause some issues with her as a woman. It's going to cause issues with him because he's going to start resenting her. She's going to start resenting him. He just doesn't have what's needed, what's necessary. So in my opinion, I don't think he deserves any more grace. And at 46, 48, whatever he is now,
You don't need an inspirational speech to get you choked up to say, okay, I can be somebody. You don't need that at that age. If you haven't discovered that now, is it in you? Because one, I think your focus is on something else because you're focusing on dating when you should be focusing on getting your conditions better. Why are you on a TV show trying to pretend like you really want to be with somebody? Well, you do hate, he does hate being alone. I did hear that. But you're on a show, focusing energy on a show when you have other responsibilities you should be focusing on. This tells me that the way he thinks is not idealistic of a leader when it comes to the household, when it comes to marriage. He's talking about, don't be surprised if you hear wedding bells. Bro, hold on. You just met this woman. You just found out that you like her. Give it some time. You're trying to rush into something for some reason. I don't know what it is, but he's trying to rush out that hotel room. And I'm not trying to be mean, but I dislike when men do this to make it seem like they want one thing, but really they need another. He needs a caretaker. He needs a sponsor. So to me, he needs to grab himself up by the quote unquote bootstraps and get himself together and then show his woman what he can do, what he can be, and give her something to be inspired by. But right now, he gives no inspiration.
Definitely hear that. Sean, you know, what's your thoughts on this, man? You know, it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest parts. You know what I mean? That's just good.
This ain't even power. Don't put power in this. Don't put ghost in this. This ain't even a ghost narrative, bro. Look, I've been seeing Cisco, seems like, he been between their toxic something perspective. I forget what the name of their podcast is, him and Cam, but he's over there. He's on, I saw a clip on social media and, I mean, I don't know how better else to say it. We've been saying it for weeks since he showed up on the scene. He is not presenting himself as he is ready to be in a serious relationship, because a serious relationship requires two people that are whole coming together to be stronger. And if one person is still in a building phase, especially in a latter part of their life, the people are not equally yoked. They're on two different playing fields. And I don't think that two people need to be at the exact same place, but one person can't still be in a building phase. Truth be told, I don't think Cisco is ready to love, because he is ready to spread his wings. He's ready to get all the opportunities that come from ready to love and from being in the spotlight. He is really growing in his career and needing to spend his energy on that. He wants to be an actor, or he is acting and he wants to continue to expand that. All those things are very time consuming. So I don't know how he thinks he can really fit love in to the equation when you're solely focused on exploring a whole different career and also trying to change aspects of your financial circumstance. So I'm not going to do what everybody else did, not everybody, meaning here, but what other people maybe have done, across social media and, talk down about him or say what he's not, or that doesn't matter to me. My point is, you need to approach a relationship when you're mentally, emotionally, and financially, ready to do all the things that are required of you. And he's not in that position. And he's expecting someone to be like a cheerleader on the sidelines to just prop him up, and that's unfair, especially to a woman that doesn't want to do that. There's a couple of women, I made a comment on the own post, that video that Tommy said, and I said, if that was my daughter, I wouldn't want that for her, right? I wouldn't want, if my daughter was Taye, or there's a woman that's close in my life that's like a Taye, I wouldn't want that for them because she wants to have kids in a few years. She wants to have somebody that's on her level. And I think it is a little selfish of him to continue to try to make her bend and flex to what he wants her to be. She doesn't want to be that. There's some women in the comments that are like, it doesn't matter, don't beat down on him. Then those are the women that are for Cisco. You know what I'm saying? It's those ladies. There's some that don't mind and they're willing to help and do all the things. Then he should go. You know, you have to go where you're wanted, where women are willing to do that. Don't try to force somebody to change what they want so it works for you. I just don't like that. And that's the part of the Tommy narrative that I don't like. Don't sell your dream, your situation to somebody else, because one, that works for some people, not everybody, and that's not gonna be the same recipe. So go where you're wanted. And I just hope that Tay is, you know, snaps out of it. Listen, I checked a little bit, you know, I got into the social media of it a little bit. Neither one of them are following each other at this point, so I don't think they're together no more anyway. So take that for what you want.
Musical selection, Deacon? Musical selection, Deacon?
I ain't got no song. I don't know. I have to get back to you later.
I'll get back to you. Says.
You gonna miss this bus.
Oh, freaking hell. No, definitely hear you. And you lot are making some quality points as well. Okay, let's roll it on then in the order. Hussein obviously bowed out. You know, and he said he got to go. He said there is nothing here for me, and I got to go. I don't know why it makes me the only person on the panel. I probably because I chose the wrong option on the screen. So let me get that sorted. Hold on. My computer's been a bit slow. Hold on now. Thank you.
The person that was sitting across the seat from me being Angie, and there was no way that I could sit there and meet her family knowing that she was my number two. With that big shuffle where Rose leaving, I felt like it was the right choice to make.
I get it, bro. You gotta do what you gotta do at the end of the day. Okay. I'm sad that it did have to come to that, but I really appreciate you being honest and vulnerable and being able to have this conversation.
Man said, listen, you're not going to catch me on this thing, fam. Man's out of here because I'm not going to be dealing with Angie and her anger antics. I'm not going to deal with it. Want to understand, what's your thoughts, guys, on this? Hussein bowed out. I see some comments in there. Someone saying, you know, he chickened out, you know, he kind of jumped too early. But what's your guys and ladies' thoughts? I mean, did you think that Hussein jumped out too early, or is it the right choice to make in terms of him, you know, taking himself out of the game? El Cid, your thoughts? Is it the right choice to take himself out of the game, or?
Why couldn't he just ride off into the sunset when Rose was eliminated? Say, hey, we ain't right for each other, but, you know, you ain't here, I ain't here. Have a nice life. I mean, did we have to have this? Did we have to go all through this? But I'm thinking Hussein is saying, I have a really nice car. I don't think my car will survive this relationship if we move forward. So why don't I bow out now, keep my insurance policy, you know, premiums low, and have a nice life. But I think it was very nice of him to actually tell her face to face. That was very much, you know, being, you know, upstanding gentleman. Say, hey, this ain't for me. You're my number two, but you can't rise to number one right now. So I don't want to meet your family. But, you know, the other side could also think that, hey, she put forth the effort to meet his family. He could at least put forth the effort to meet hers. But if he wants to go home, no reason in keeping him there. You know, fly away, birdie, fly.
Definitely hear that. Yes, Seaway.
Why would anybody have a problem with what he did? I feel like this is kind of like, am I missing something? I feel like he did what any respectable person should do. If you get to the end and you realize that like it ain't gonna work, then you respectfully bow out. I thought that was the most sensible thing we saw on the show. He got to the end, he's like, nah, he drew his line, you know, with the other one, and it was like, can't do it with Angie. I thought that was a very normal thing to do. I wish more of them did that, actually. So I had no problem. I'm only off camera because my thing keeps tweaking. But yeah.
Well, El Cid, I got a song. You like to hear it? Here it go.
Please do.
I choose me now. I choose me now. I choose me. Ain't nothing worth more than my peace. Tink, I choose me. And that's Hussein. Listen, I won my money because I told you guys last week Hussein is going to choose himself. I told you guys that. And everybody was looking at me like I was crazy. Well, maybe not everybody, but it just sounds better when you say that. You know, it gives more credibility. You know, I feel like I was saying something. But I knew that he was going to choose himself. I knew it.
They saying on the reunion, Sean, that he went to the pen too.
That's what they say. But you know, I was listening to Miss Misha the other day, and she brought up a good point. That, you know, Rose, I'm sorry, you know, I love Rose at the beginning, but Rose got an interesting way of just putting things together. So maybe Rose could be alluding, and again, I'm stealing a little bit from Miss Misha, alluding to the fact that remember he said when he was a teenager, he was in a detention home or whatever.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's what Rose is talking about. I need to see the full clip, because Rose is also a little disconnected from things being in the order that they should be in. So I want to hear it all out, but it could be true. I mean, it looks like Cam is in a couple things. Cam got stuff going on with Shanice. Cam got stuff going on with Angie. So it's about to be, I think the reunion is going to be worth the wait, other than the stress of the rest of the season that it caused us. But yeah, I knew Cam was going to choose himself. I mean, Hussein was going to choose himself. I mean, yes, I get why he did what he did. But I think we should have seen an on-camera conversation with he and Rose. Yes, that is a little bit, you just inching your way out of it. He should have been the one, not Cam. And if that was production's decision, they made the wrong decision. It should have been Cam, because Cam is the one. It always works that way. Whoever you have the strongest connection with is going to be the one that has the conversation with you if you're being sent home. And Hussein was the major driver. Again, I tied of production. From what we saw, he was the one in the room, in the lounge, that drove the decision for Rose to go home. So he should have been the one to say, hey, listen, I really felt like that was something you really left out. Sis boom ba, whatever, you know, I'm sorry, we don't feel like you're ready to love because you weren't vulnerable. You weren't, you know, you didn't give us an option. You know, whatever it is, he should have said that directly to her. I'm always for that. If men, you know, like I'll be on our backs. Like, we want to be leaders. This is what leading is, right? This is what protection is. It's not, you know, fighting some imaginary ghost that's coming in the middle of the night, because that doesn't happen very often, right? The job for you to show up and protect and provide and do all those things is how you as the man show up for the woman that you are in the relationship with. So I'm a firm believer, if we can't make it, if it's not working, then we need to have the conversations. We don't ghost people, you know, especially not grown people that are ready to love.
Yeah. First, I'm not for to give him credit for doing something he's supposed to do as a man anyway. So him telling Angie how he felt and all that, I'm not gonna give him props for that, because we got to start expecting more out of people. That's nothing big to me, so I'm not gonna give him props for that. Also, Hussein, he wasn't serious about this at all. He wasn't responding to text messages, leaving people on red. I mean, and then giving BS excuses about why he did it. So to me, I just think that he knew it was a waste of time. Plus, the way his friends was talking about him, sounded like he'd be outside big time. And so he not trying to give that up. You know what I'm saying? And plus, if he's getting any type of acknowledgement or looks his way because of the show, he's seeing those DMs right now. So he's out of there. You know, so he didn't respect Angie enough to even respond to her text message. So I already knew he was gonna be out the door. Now the thing with Rose doesn't surprise me. He's a punk to me. I really do feel that he is not really a masculine man. I said this in the beginning when he met one of their brothers or something. Like, he said he was starting to sweat because he was asking questions like, bro, why are you doing that? Like, you're punking up right now. So to me, it doesn't make sense to me for someone that you're talking to's ex-boyfriend, ex-husband, whatever, to be in jail, and that's what that's what scares you away from that person. Like, he just doesn't have a backbone to me. And I just know guys who just cut from a different cloth, and what he's showing right now is he's just not masculine. He's not able to deal with it. Now, if he has a choice whether to deal with it or not, I know you guys spoke on it just a few seconds ago about he possibly has a history inside. If it was juvenile, if it was juvie, if it was the pen, if it was wherever it was, he knows how that feels to have someone look at him a certain way because of his current circumstances. So even with that, why would he cower away from the situation? Unless he probably had an experience while he was in it. I don't know, but that's going too far. But I will say that, to me, it just doesn't seem like the right fit for anyone on the show. So it was the right move, in my opinion.
Listen, I hear you. I mean, listen, like, I thought he, made the right choice of getting out of there because, boy, he has nothing left. Boy was never going to choose Angie, and probably was never going to choose Rose, you know what I'm saying, too? So, again, I think some of these guys, I obviously, Karen and Hussein both interviewed me quite early, so, you got to ask those questions, as Elsa will normally say, if they're interviewing that early, what's going on? So, you do have to ask those kind of questions in terms of their situation. So I hear you. Yeah, Elsa has also spoken correctly. All right, cool. Let's move on to next scenes as well. Okay, which was obviously Cisco again, but the conversation that you had with Taye and the cousin.
Characteristics.
Hold on, I don't mean to cut you off. I want to see what Auntie. I want to see because you was gonna keep drilling me. Like,
I sure will. I'll keep it going.
Right.
Okay. Auntie, you got anything?
Let's see what we got.
Let's see what we got here.
Playing.
They came prepared, baby.
I want to get your thoughts on this interaction that was had between obviously Taye, Taye and Cisco in terms of him meeting the family. The cousin was there. She's a beautiful woman, by the way. Can't lie to you. Okay, just saying. The cousin's a beautiful woman. What did you guys garnish? What did you guys see in this scenario with Taye and the cousin? Do you think that again, I just wish the edit was a bit longer because it could have shown us a few more questions, but the cousin did put a few questions back to back, made sure that he knew she was on his tail. What's your thoughts to this situation, this scenario? With Taye and family as well. How do you guys see it? Who would like to go? Well, I know Elsid says she gonna leave us, so let me go first. Elsid, go for it.
Daggone it! Of course, he had to call me when my dog is like barking because Mr. Elsid showed up. Okay. It's always wonderful to see when family, is taking a concerted effort to ask questions, to be involved here. But I don't know. It made for good TV, but I don't know if it could have been on the borderline of intrusive, but I would be asking a whole lot of questions, have a list and a whole bunch of stuff, but that's just me. But it could be seen as intrusive. But I do like, here's why I do like it, because I'm coming from a point where we've had several instances of Ready to Love where we felt like the family did not ask enough questions. They weren't probing questions. So, she still made the decision she made, but so that's neither here nor there for me. But that's all I have to say about this, scene.
Heard and registered. Yes, sure.
I mean, listen, I think the if that was that Taye's sister, the younger lady that had the locks, or
I think more the cousin, apparently, not
cousin. It was cousin,
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, she was ready, and I appreciated her energy. She was like, let's cut right to it, and I like that because You need someone that's gonna help you see the forest for the trees. I wanted to see, and I was disappointed that we, in both instances, I think we never saw any male representation for Taye, right? Because I don't think we saw an ex for her, and we didn't see any of them, any men from her family. I don't know if her parents are not around. That I don't recall or remember, but I just would have liked to see a male presence to really be able to man talk to Taye. I mean, talk to Cisco on behalf of Taye. So I really wanted to see that. I'll say that Cisco was respectful. I think he genuinely likes her, but I think you have to also know, like there's that saying, if you love someone, you have to also be able to be ready to leave them. I'm messing it up, but it's just like a famous saying or a quote or something. And I think if he really cared about her, like if he really cared about her, I think he would be like, you know what? Let me see you next lifetime. Like Erykah Badu's, that's Erykah Badu's song. I'll see you next lifetime. Because I see the people that I'm meeting with you and your family, they care about you, that you have concerns. You're willing to look past it, but I know I'm just not ready now. So let me do what I got to do and then see you in the next lifetime. And I wish he would have done that versus drag this whole thing out and try to guilt people or guilt her into, being with him.
All right, so I'll go ahead and go. So I gotta say this. I love Auntie. Auntie, if you're watching, hey Auntie. She came with her notes in hand. You understand me? She had them written down, ready to go. Now, for me, I do like the fact that the questions that I did hear from her aunt, I did like that they were thoughtful questions about his character and how he sees her niece. So I do like that. What I don't like is that Cisco volunteered his current situation. That's not for family to hear. Let me or let her decide what kind of information she wants to give her family about what you got going on. Just my opinion when it comes to that, because when the family gets something in their head about you, it don't go away when you okay. It don't go away once you forgive. They hold on to it. So a year from now, 2 years from now, this could be in the back of their head. Well, he did do this. If he so happens to have a good job one day and he loses that job, they're going to think, okay, you had to struggle again. Remember last time. So that wasn't necessarily a conversation that needed to be had on this day. I don't like that production or whatever only gave us 2 questions and 2 answers, and then he dipped off. That really wasn't enough meat to really understand or get an idea of how they really felt about him. Because to me, the cousin pretty much said, hey, those are some valid concerns for you. Everybody is telling Taye what she's already thought from the first episode when it comes to him. So to me, what else do you need? Those are verifications on how you originally felt. So why is it so hard for you to say no to this person? And when it's hard to say no to someone that you're involved with, that can be very toxic. You can put yourself in a very difficult situation. So bringing the family in there, I do like that she had family. I do agree with Sean that she could have had some type of male representation there, because he could have gave it to a man. Look, this is what she's going to need. This is how she's going to need it. Are you able to do this? If you can't, okay, you might need to move on. If you can, if it take you a minute, how long do you think he's going to take? Like those are man-to-man questions that's not going to be intrusive at all, because this is a family member right here. I'm speaking on behalf of, so I didn't make sure you're right for her. So the question I'm going to ask you is what you need to have done for this family person, this person in my family that I know so well. So to me, yeah, those were my only issues with that interaction. I just wish it was a little bit more interaction so they can really kind of sink their teeth in a little bit and get to know him a little bit better, and give Cisco the opportunity to show that he can stand up and answer those questions without kind of cowering down. But it's all.
Okay, I'm hearing y'all. Loud and clear. Me personally, I think there were some good questions by the the cousin for sure. Cousin was like, "Listen, you ain't gonna get me. You ain't gonna knock me off my square. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna put some pause on you. Make sure that I'm here asking the right questions so I can make sure that my curse is good. And to be honest, that's how a family should be. You should be in a little bit of a hot seat. You know what I mean? The last time I went to a girl's house to see her family, I got a little bit of hot seat, and I was not mad at it. In fact, I was happy. A good family will be protective and ask some serious questions. You don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Your daughter does, but you don't know. I could be crazy. I'm not, but I could be. So I always respect the hustle and the shooting as they do as well. Okay. I don't know if I know you didn't see, I don't know if you saw the scene, Seaway. So if you want to talk on, if not, then I'll move it on. I don't know if you want to talk on that. If not, I will move it on.
We can move on. I'm forgetting a lot of it. Yep.
No worries, too, darling. You're good. Okay. All righty. Well, let's talk about the Cam conversation.
I'm just keeping 100. If it ain't right.
Yeah, she'll tell you.
Exactly. We had, a few little arguments already.
The argument was, do you bust windows? Yes.
I bust the windows at your car. And that was the argument again coming up once more for Cam. Cam feels like, hey, busting windows out the car ain't really my gym jammer jive. Okay, all right. Busting windows out my car is not the gym jammer jive for me in this space. But there was a really good conversation. Like I said, the brother seemed to be really engaged, and he seemed to be in a very healthy marriage. It seems like okay. And so his demeanor, I don't know, it was just his energy and demeanor, and the way that he joked with his wife just seemed really just comfortable. So but what did you guys get from the Angie and the Cam situation? I know they've again bring up the smashing the windows out the car situation again. It seems to be dominating their conversations. He clearly can't let it go, and I get it because she never really gave a great answer. But what did you guys garnish from that interaction with the family as well? What did we see in that space? We have some strong opinions ready. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, some eeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. If it's skill, let it go. Okay. Seaway, did you see the scene? What's your thoughts on Cam and Angie?
I'm realizing I must have fell asleep through two of these scenes. I don't know. Every time you pull up a scene, I'm like, Dag, was I asleep? And then I just popped up and Cam was pissing off. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
That's classic Seaway, boy. That's got nothing to do with the series. That is the Seaway in general.
It's not I'll go last because it'll jog my memory, but I must have been in and out because I was wondering what happened with Angie. The whole time there was a scene.
No even worries me. Trust me, I understand. Trust me. I watched episodes last minute, so I ain't judging you. Black, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I think that Angie's brother and his wife was a positive addition in a sense because they gave some good pointers as far as like not keeping score and things that you need in a relationship. But the brother really gave Cam some clues as to how his sister is. When he said she's a lot, she's going to be she do a lot to deal with now. You got to make sure you do this, make sure you do. Like I think he was letting them know, giving you a heads up, bro. This might not be what you want, even though that's his sister. I'm not saying he was downplaying it or talking bad about it. So he just kind of preparing Cam for what's going to come next. The conversation about the cars and stuff like that, and him mentioning so we have our ups and downs. I don't know why they want to introduce drama to friends and family. I just don't understand that. You're there to show how much you care about someone, not to bring up we've gotten into some fights, we got into some disagreements. These are disagreements we got into. We didn't have that discussion in front of them. Like that's saying a lot about who you are as a man and how you handle at-home business outside in the streets. And you don't do that. Okay, that's not the time for you to be out there and talking about, what you guys have already discussed. Why are we talking about the past? If you moved on from it, move on from it. If you haven't, you shouldn't even came in the first place. Just my thought.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for like someone to say like she's grown past that. I was looking for the family to attest to her character a little more. Angie told us a little bit about her family dynamic earlier in the season. I was looking to see some evidence of that. I just didn't see that. She seemed like the youngest sibling who's got, who gets babied and those temper tantrums, and that could be a misrepresentation, but that's all I saw. And I still didn't hear anything from her around debunking the narrative. So I know people get on these shows and they're going to tell us, oh, they just wanted to paint that picture of her, me, and I blah, 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 and I blah, 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 blah. But we've seen several clips, several different scenes where this topic was disclosed or discussed rather. And I never heard her say, that's not who I am today. I don't react like that. I've learned to handle my emotions better. If you upset me, I'm going to let you know, but I don't have to react in a violent way. I don't have to react in a way where I'm damaging property. You know what I'm saying? But all I kept hearing is, if you push me, then I just might. Don't make me so I won't. I just want to understand, when do we grow out of that? The same way we want Cisco to be more financially astute in his early 40s. I believe Angie is in the same age range. I want you to be more emotionally regulated. Doesn't mean you can't be upset, but what does that upset look like? And what have you learned from acting out badly in the past? And I'm sorry, I don't see it. And the brother said, you might just be too spicy for him in the end. So I just think that's it. I think it was listen, the best thing Hussein did was release himself. And I don't know why Cam was still dragging this on. And I know we're going to get to him in Sahara, but I don't know why he continued to drag. Like, why are you, at least Hussein, and I don't want to upset Corey, and I'm just joking with you, bro. But Hussein did the right thing, and he sat face to face the same way he did with Angie, when he said, Angie, I don't even think it's the right thing for me to even meet your family because I'm not in a position. That's the conversation I wanted him to have with Rose. You know what I'm saying? Like, where Kojo went? You know what I mean? Like, that's the conversation that he should have had with Rose that I wish we could have seen, because that's the right way to handle this. And Cam should have did the same, because he's been talking about her in these window busting situations that's stressing him out for the last 20 business days.
Can I ask you a question?
What you said? Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? Why has anybody asked the bigger question as to why she's snitching on herself to begin with? She literally, there was nothing about her that really gave I bust windows until she voluntarily told us anyway. Like, the most confusing thing is that she keeps telling everybody that she's a crash out. We wouldn't even have known.
But that was, remember, they played that game, and that it started when they played that game when they was at the retreat. That's where it all went down.
She volunteered that information, but then she keep going. It's like, let somebody find out you're a crash out. Like, why are you keep publicizing it, telling everybody, put it on your t-shirt? Like,
Man, you let someone
you want her to deceive us.
No, I'm bringing it up really more to say that it makes her even more immature. Like, it's one thing to be a crash out, but like, it's something that you don't want to be or you're working on. But the fact that she has continuously talked about it and volunteered more and more information about it all the time just makes me feel like you have arrested development. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, if you're a crash out, that should be something that you keep it cute on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like it was a badge of honor this whole season. It's just really bizarre.
Yeah, with no regret, no remorse. She stands on it too. So I honestly feel like if you allow a person enough time to talk, they'll tell them themselves, to be honest with you. So that's exactly what she did. So for me, it made sense. Everything fell in place the way it needed to all fall in place. Plus she was drinking, having a good time. And when you have them libations, them lips gonna go and they're gonna talk about things you shouldn't be talking about. So that's what happened in this situation.
None of these men on here want to deal with that. I can tell you that. None of them they don't want to deal with none of that. You look like you coming with all that drama. And honestly, if you look at all the men, most of them got gone because people was coming with too much drama. Whether it was baby daddies in jail, people breaking windows. It was like a lot of the women were coming with a lot of baggage that the men just didn't want to be bothered with. And vice versa. A lot of the men that got gone were coming with too much on their end too. It seemed like just a lot of people just had a lot going on. A lot going on. Too much.
Yeah, I don't, and that's the thing I struggled, with this season is I don't see like it's hard for us to really root for anybody, I mean, there's a couple of people like by themselves. I like them. Like I like Taye. I think she's cool. I think Rose is cool, but I think Rose just needs to see the lady a little bit and just work through some things, But I like her, but she just got to work through some things, and I think there's nothing wrong with working through some things. If you've been through some trauma, and some of us as Black people, we've been through some trauma. Whether it's the way we were brought up, relationships, whatever it is, you gotta talk through it. Don't normalize just fighting it through and sometimes we gonna pray our way through it. No, no. You got to work through some of those things because they leave lasting impressions and they spill over. And then you think you think you're healed and you're not. You're actually spilling over on people. You're spilling over on yourself. So, yeah, and Rose is not the only one, Hey, and listen, I'm saying it as somebody who has done that, and we'll do it in the future. I think there's nothing wrong with talking through some of the issues and saying, hey, listen, this is what happened. I had a few people say this to me. What does that mean? Like, you got to be open to doing things different. You can't just keep saying this is me, accept me for who I am. No, who you are should be changing, should be evolving, should be getting better. You don't just stay the same, and you want to learn from you going on a reality show to try to find love. That means you probably, you've been through a few things. So, I'm sorry. I just feel like Angie, she just did herself a disservice because to me, it just always seemed like, oh, she wants to laugh it off. And this is not funny stuff when you're in relationships and you don't know how to deal with your emotions. People are going to make you upset. So saying, don't make me get upset that I won't do this, that's not the wrong answer. That's not the answer. It's how do I learn to effectively communicate? How do I learn to better manage my emotions so my emotions don't get the better of me?
Is this a representation of Philly? Is that also part of the problem? Is this a good for the Philly folks? Is this the representation of the Black community in Philly? That's what I need to know. Because this also may be part of the problem. Perhaps this was about the best that they could do. See, people are saying, yeah. I mean, I kind of thought it was because even the people, I won't say too much because they see this clip, they're gonna say I'm talking about them. But I done seen some people from Philly who are actually end up being like very professional lawyers and stuff. And I was trying to figure out why they act the way they do. And these are people who people would say are successful, and they still act just like the people on this show. So I don't know. Maybe it's Philly. I'm a little concerned for the city, to be honest.
Don't do Philly like that. Don't do it.
It seems like it just ain't Seaway. Everybody doing it.
It's feeling like it's the entire city at this point.
For real.
Everybody's saying that's accurate. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think it's Philly.
Somebody, August Talent said 28 said no.
Look, they're the only one.
One out of 50.
Ghetto USA everywhere.
one out of 50. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to figure out because the whole cast, what is going on? And then the only person who acts somewhat normal is Taye, and then you see what she doing.
Not
Yeah,
too
she
much
got to
on
be on. She on that list
I
too.
love my Sahara now.
Man, my goodness! Don't even get me started on that. You might want to come to me last on her because man, that's yeah.
No, Chicago ain't like that. You can cast in Chicago and not have a cast like this. I promise you.
Well, we'll see. Don't put your money on it because they coming to Chicago.
I will put my money on it. That cast would not be like this. And if they did, it was intentional.
Listen, if they get down in the south or up north, east, what y'all say, down west, over east, whatever y'all
Come on, get it right. It's over east. Hold on. It's out west, up north, over east. You have to get the language correctly.
I got it. Thank you. I know Seaway's gonna get me all the way together with that.
Out west, over east, up north. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna see. We'll see where they cast. We'll see.
Well, I haven't got any. I can't show you clips anymore because I'm on my phone because the internet decided to go down. But I guess the next person we'll talk about. The next person we'll talk about is since we're already on Cam and Angie. We'll talk about Cam and let's leave it to last. I know you guys got some strong opinions. Jay and Kiara. Okay, Jay and Kiara. That he met the sisters and the friends. I'm guessing, or cousins and friends. And, I felt like, there was, they didn't grill him or anything. They just asked some really decent questions. And you know what my issue is? Here's my issue. These friends, just like Kiara, are not vetting for the right things. The moment they heard him say, I don't do 50-50, I do 100, everybody was saying, clock the T, clock the T, clock the T, clock the T, clock the T. And they stopped listening, and all they started hearing was dollar signs. Okay, all they started hearing was soft life for my girl Kiara. That's all I was really hearing. I didn't really hear anything else. But again, editing is editing, so sometimes editing would do that. But what I'm saying, from what we saw from the edit, it just looked like, bruh. As soon as man said he gonna pay all them bills and she gonna have a soft life, they always like, you know what? It don't even matter what you're doing. It don't matter if you're a flirt. It don't matter if you got 2 or 3 girlfriends. We don't give a heck. So long as our sister has got a soft life, we are happy. That's what I perceived from the interaction. But of course, I'm only one person. It's not a private interpretation. What did you guys see? What did you guys see about that interaction with Jay and Kiara? How did you see it? Tell me what you saw in that space. There's a strong opinion on this thing here.
I mean, I don't want there to be dead silence, but I'm trying to say the right things.
Not too flustered.
It's like when you want to say something, so or you just have a deep sigh. You're like, like I just try to be. I'm saying nothing right now. I'm trying to say everything without saying nothing. Look, I wish the best for them, but these friends didn't ask nothing. They then the one friend talk about doing role plays about him being flirtatious. Come on, ladies. Like, I'm just, I be trying to be, real positive and not like beating up my sisters. So that's why I'm struggling. I just felt like the conversation was a touch low vibrational. Call me out, say I'm being bougie, whatever you want to call me, I'll accept it. Correct me. I hope there, is the whole lot of edit stuff left on the editing room floor. But it just seemed a very base conversation. I'm sorry. And why are we still talking about the little leg wrap with Sahara? I mean, can we just move on? Like, I'm ready for us to move on. Like, we have seriously lost the plot. If every time we're in front of Jay's family, now we're in front of Kiara's friends and family, and we still talking about this little moment. Like, can we just build a bridge and get over it? It's like, come on. And I think I'll say the positives. The thing that I did like, because Jay talked about what he grew up seeing his father do. So that's what he wants to duplicate for the woman that he's in love. So I will say that is a positive. I think that is a great example of having good leadership in the house. So kudos. I hope that's executed, because look, we can say a lot of things, but the proof is in the pudding. So I just hope all the things that he said that he is willing to do, that he will do them. If he does the things that he said, then I think that is a great message. And I'll leave it there.
I'm hollering. One, I just want to say these two have been one of my favorite couples on Ready to Love in a minute. And I know it's going to sound strange coming probably from me. You're probably surprised, but I just really love their authenticity, and I love their little ghetto love story. And that's definitely what it is. But I think they're really, really cute. And I like Jay's intentionality with Kiara. I think he's very intentional. Now, as to this conversation, I do think it was low vibrational. I also feel like the friends was flirting with him, trying to act like he was flirting with them. I definitely think he need to watch her friends, because why are you worried about what type of eyes people giving when you look like you looking at his eyes? That kind of made me uncomfortable. Like, and so that's why I wasn't asleep during this scene, but I was blanking out during this scene too, because they were just kind of giving me secondhand embarrassment when they talk about, you flirting with me now, girl. Ain't nobody flirting with you. Cousins, friends, whatever. Okay, which ones are they, Felicia? I don't even know. Cousins? I thought they were friends.
Yeah, they were all friends, I think. I think they're all friends. Yeah.
They did say cousins, because I think I heard that maybe it was a mixture. Whatever, it don't matter.
Were they real cousins or black people cousins?
Maybe they was black.
I'm thinking black people cousins for sure.
One of them looked alike, though. One of them definitely, I could see a family resemblance in at least one of them. The women were beautiful. That's what I should have said too. Beautiful gowns.
Oh,
they said. Okay. Why they said Seaway sound like I'm feeling Jay a little bit.
It would sound like, right? This would sound like.
Nah, they trying to start some mess.
Y'all say any and everything in these effing comments. I just think they're a nice couple. I can't say they're a nice couple. Now I want the man too. Okay. I definitely feel like he's a nice guy. Definitely far from perfect, but I think they're really cute. And I think they should. I hope they do end this story about the leg wrap. I hope this is the last time we have to hear it. I don't want to hear it on the reunion either. If you're gonna move on. Yeah. Definitely low vibrational conversation though. And it's really good that he really wants to be a traditional man in 2025. Men are trying to be women in 2025. So to see a man want to be traditional and aspire to be traditional, that's wonderful. Amen.
Jay Blind is back. He don't see all those red flags in front of him flashing over and over again. There's no way. Back at that cabin or retreat or wherever they went, you mean to tell me it took me 3 days to convince you to forgive me over a leg? Goodness gracious, if I had did something more than that, goodness gracious. I mean, in the mindset of her to say, well, I had to teach you a lesson. Oh, you wanted to be mad on purpose. You didn't have a forgiving spirit for 3 days because you wanted to prove a point. No, I don't have time for those type of games. He shouldn't either. And she made sure both sides of the family knew about that story, hers and his. I'm trying to understand why. Was there a need for you to do that? You still holding on to that whole leg over leg thing. You're not ready for a relationship. I mean, really. I'm sorry. I just, and then it's something that irks my spirit to hear her with that, my man. You follow too many social media. You follow too much of this outside stuff, quoting somebody else's stuff over and over again. Okay, you're happy you have a man, great, but find something, another way to say it, please, because that, with the sound of her voice, just irritates me to no end. So her friends, back to her friends, Ghetto Central, okay? Birds of a feather, that's what I'm looking at as I hear them talking back and forth. I couldn't get past it. And then you guys did mention the semi-flirting that the friend was doing with him, like, yo, that's all you have to say? That's the energy you coming with? You guys just came just to poke fun. It wasn't a real interaction for them. You wasted that man's time. And you wasted my time because I had to watch it. But bottom line, Jay should have been running for the hills because she had way more red flags than what Jay had. But the fact that he tried to apologize for a misunderstanding and she couldn't simply accept that, just think of all the bigger issues they're going to have in the future down the line in relationships that most people have. It's going to be like trying to swim with weights on. He's going to drown. So I just don't think it was just a good idea for them to be together at all. And Jay, bro, you don't own a suit. Tell me you don't have one suit in that closet. Gray, black, tan, blue. You have none in the closet. So to me, I'm good. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there.
I can't disagree more about that leg wrap thing. You have to teach people how to treat you. And on the first infraction, you stand on business harder than you stand on any business. Now, you may say the way she went about it was a little immature doing the pouting or whatever, but you got to stand on business. That may seem small to you, but that level of disrespect and gaslighting in that house that he was doing needed to be checked immediately. He needed to understand that I don't know what type of games that you be playing, but I'm not for none. So I think that's very important. And the women that let stuff like that slide in the onset be the ones crying in the car later. He did too much and played stupid afterwards. That was my bigger thing. You did too much, then you're playing stupid.
Wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. Where is the self-confidence? So my thing is this: if you're in a retreat, you know already that I have more than one connection. So you see me interacting with another person, and you get mad about that. Now I can see if we made the decision to be one-on-one, we made the decision to be monogamous. I get that. That would be an issue, but everybody knows that everybody's there to get to know each other better. Unless he confessed his love for her, then that will be an issue. But he didn't do that. Like, the thing about it is that they said they liked each other. That was it. Nobody said anything about being locked in and you're a shoe in for the win at the end. No one was doing that. So she got into her feelings a little too soon, in my opinion. She felt how she felt. She's entitled to feel how she feels, but her response, like you said, Seaway, was immature. How she handled it was immature. I'm not against you having to show someone how to treat you, but that comes with conversation, not immaturity. And she was immature They could have sat down and had a conversation. Hey, you know what? It made me feel this way when I saw you too. Blah blah blah. I know this is a show.
She tried that. If you recall, he played in her face, and I want to respond to what you said. His response would have been, "We're all at a retreat and we're exploring connections. We're not exclusive. We would be having a different conversation." That wasn't his response. His response was to sit there and not only gaslight her, but then go along and gaslight Sahara and act like they didn't have anything going on. He said, "Oh no, we didn't have a connection. I was just sitting there and da 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 da." The whole anger, I mean, I understand that she didn't handle it perfectly, but a lot of her anger came from being gaslit because he was playing in her face. He never once said what you said, that, "Oh, we're at a retreat and we're exploring everybody." Because if he would have said that to her, she would have had to say, "You know what? Checkmate. All right, cool." That's not what he said. And that was my only disappointment in Jay. I'm like, you can never, as a woman, allow a man to play in your face. There's a lot of things that you can forgive. Everybody is human. But the moment you allow a man to play in your face, he'll play in your face forever. That is what he was doing in that conversation, playing stupid. You don't allow that.
So I don't think anyone should be allowed to play the face, whether it's a man or a woman. But I do think that if both people are in the wrong, the person who decides to pull up that chair to have a conversation and say, "I'm sorry," to apologize, to have his wrongs acknowledged, I think there should be a mature conversation that happens, that takes place. Not you in the bed giving a silent treatment and making them wait 3 days, then saying, "We had to teach him a lesson." You are not his parent. No one is anyone's parent in a relationship. You want to talk to me about something, you don't like something that I did, sit down and have an adult conversation with me about it. Now, I'm not saying this could have happened both ways, but Jay was at least apologetic about what he did. She didn't apologize at all. She stood 10 toes down on her behavior. It was never checked. That's the issue that I have.
What was she apologizing for?
Her behavior. When he came to her, tried to apologize, he said, "Well, so you're not gonna talk to me?" No, so she completely ruined the rest of the trip for him and herself. Really,
she really should have ruined the rest of the trip, because the moment he came back playing in her face, I would have ruined the trip too. Because he never actually stood on what he did. Again, I'm not saying she handled it perfectly, but he came in there and he did not own what he did, and then proceeded to drag Sahara into his mess. I think that part would have went differently if he would have owned his crap. He never did.
So you're saying that it's warranted for her to behave the way she behaved, and that Jay is the bad guy in this situation?
I actually started off this conversation saying I like both of them, and I'm not saying. And I also started this conversation saying that I felt like she's slightly immature in her response. But at the end of the day, he was playing in her face, and I think since then they've communicated better, and I think they realized that, both of them realized, like, hey, because she shut down. And that wasn't a good way to handle things. And I love how they talked a lot about, her shutting down and, handling things that way is immature. And I love how they gave her that constructive feedback, and she's taking that feedback. And I love that. And they also talked about what he did. I think her shutting down and doing, turning around and turning your back and doing all the type of stuff, not a way to handle a conflict. And the way he was playing in her face, knowing good and well what he did, not a way to handle a conflict. But I love how they worked through it. And I love how both sides held each other accountable.
I don't see a work through. If we're still talking about it, I don't see a work through. Like, she's told 2 families about this incident. And she still claims to like this man so much, why are you still bringing this up? If this is still on your mind like this, okay, give yourself some time to breathe. Let me go or whatever. But for you to be saying, my man, but you still holding on to something that happened 3 weeks ago. I mean, really, I'm just the type of guy that, okay, we talk about it, we hash it out, we come to an agreement. Let that be it. Don't bring this back to life. So you're saying she took accountability for it, but I think that accountability was just for that type of show, because she's not showing it in her words when she's speaking to both families, and when she's speaking about him, she's not bigging him up. I like how he does this, I like how he does that. We did have a problem back at the retreat when he did the XYZ. Okay, Why are people leading with the negatives of their interaction, which is supposed to be their quote unquote strongest connection? It just don't make sense to me. I see what you're saying, C-Way, but as far as her behavior goes, I don't agree with the fact that she has learned from a situation or she's a better person coming out of it, just based on the fact that her behavior is continuing down that same path of immaturity.
Well, it's all taped probably relatively close, and I think what comes with maturity is learning to how to keep your relationship sacred and try to keep some of the outside noise out of the stuff that you work through. I think that's a sign of immaturity, and they're gonna have to get there. I don't think it's nothing to throw nobody away over, but you learn as you get older. We're older than her. We've learned, hey, when you're dealing with stuff and you have a relationship that you want to cover, you're not gonna be going around telling me, Sean, Kojo, I was just beefing with my girl X, Y, and Z. If you want to keep that girl around, you done learn that over time. In my 20s, I probably was too much.
Wait, isn't Kiara like 37?
She not that old, I don't think. How old is she?
Yeah, I think I saw it said 37 by her name.
I don't think she's that old.
That's why I'm giving her. That's why I'm giving her the energy that I'm giving.
She's 37. I don't know. I thought she was in her late 20s, early 30s. I didn't think she was.
No,
30.
she's definitely not that.
Okay. All right. 31, 32. Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Not a baby, okay? She's my age, not a baby.
Definitely not your age. I mean, she's not 21, C-Way, like you are.
Yeah, she's not a baby, but you know what? She kind of comes off younger too, and so I'm just gonna give her. It also seems like when people have kids young, sometimes it delays them as well. So just give her a little bit of time.
Yeah,
got to give her a little. Bit.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. We held you up. We can proceed.
You done? Jokes. No, it was a good conversation actually. I was listening in intently whilst the rain came down in my house. But yeah, not in my house, outside, which is what's causing the internet downage. Okay, cool. You guys taught Jay a new one, especially C-Way. So we will move on from them.
I got a song.
Oh, go for it.
At first, we started out real cool, taking me places I ain't never been. But now you getting comfortable, ain't doing those things you did no more. Skip to the chorus. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? We need to know if Jay can pay the bills. And hopefully Karen won't be singing bills, bills, bills.
Jay looks like he gonna work 5 jobs to pay them bills. That's a good man. He gonna work real hard.
He really is gonna work real hard.
He just needs to find. He really just does need to find appropriate outfits for professional occasions. So that's my only issue.
I'm with you on that. To be honest, I hear you. I can't lie on that one. Well, listen, we're coming to that big one. Okay, because as Hoodie would say, I'm coming to do my big one. Cam and Sahara. Okay, all right. She choosed herself. She chooseth herself. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Now I know Black said he had some thoughts beforehand, so he's got some serious thoughts on this situation. So, Cam and Sahara, what you telling me, Black? What you telling me about Cam and Sahara?
Man, listen, Sahara is just the most toxic energy. I'm drained just by watching her interact, to be honest with you. I think that Cam definitely dodged a bullet. I think it's great that Cam left by himself. Not because he's such a great guy, but just because neither one of them need to be paired with anyone on this show, because it was going to be a devastating end no matter what. The fact that she didn't have the patience to wait a few hours to know what he decided tells me that, of course, like most people, you don't like rejection. Who likes rejection, right? So she didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I think if he had said he was going to choose Angie or something like that, if the whole outcome would have been different in the end. So it was kind of giving me that type of energy. I want to know what it is because I've faced rejection before. I don't want to be rejected now. So that's why through half of the series, she kept asking, what are you going to do? Who are you going to pick? Don't leave me by the wayside. I want to make sure you're going to pick me. And that's draining for anyone. And then Cam says, I was going to pick you. That's what he said. I was going to pick you. I was like, ooh, he let that slip. So at that point, she already knew that he had changed his mind. So she would use that type of energy. So if you really pay attention to their interaction, man, it was just really toxic the whole way. Because her telling her, oh my goodness, her sister, next level. She is 3 times Sahara. The way she was asking her question, and the way she interacted with Cam, and this, girl, he got a good body. Man, come on, you don't want to hear all that. I mean, let's sister talk, I guess. I get that. But I'm just saying that, the interaction with the family, with the sister, his interaction with her desperate need to know how he felt. I'm like, yo, wait, you know how this show goes. This is not your first season. Why are you on this man's back about wanting to be picked, wanting to be chosen? So I don't understand it from any other ladies when they do that. When it gets close like this, everybody wants to know before the big reveal. And Cam's like, I want to do it the way that the producer said to do it, pretty much, at the end. So it was just too much for her to handle, and she was too much to handle, in my opinion.
Seaway?
I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that. I mean, I definitely can say that Sahara and her sister are a lot. They would be too much for me, for sure. But what I can say is Cam is atrocious. He plays in people's face. He's been playing this entire show. Cam is probably the most problematic and dangerous dude on this entire show because he literally will drag you along, act like he finna do one thing and he's doing another. So Sahara's biggest F up was not choosing herself earlier. Cam was going to drag her out until the very end. He thinks he's better than her. He thinks he can do better than her. And then he got to the end and he was only going to choose her anyway. I hope she learns from this lesson. Never let a man drag you out to the end, because if he's not sure about you and he think he could do better than you, then let him do better than you. That's it. That's exactly what it is. He was treating Sahara like she was his like ghetto pet project. It's like she's not your ghetto pet project. Either you like the girl or if you don't. If you think she's too much for you, let her go. So I really don't really respect how he did her. To me, he really treated her like she was less than. And I didn't like seeing that on the screen. And I'm really glad that she peeped that he was treating her like that and she chose herself. And I think the pressure in the end to kind of push the issue was her spirit telling her, like, don't get played on TV. Like, don't get played. I think she already knew what it was. And so she was trying not to get to the end and suffer any more embarrassment. But sometimes you don't even got to get the answer to your question. You know the answer. You know the answer. I'm not a fan of Cam. Cam been off from the beginning. He been off from the beginning. He need to go find the Lord. That's all I got.
I hope you're not sick of me and my song selection. But when I tell you I got the perfect selection, and I'm gonna just read the lyrics. I know Seaway, you surprised me with knowing that Trey Songz one right off the bat. So you just might surprise me and know this one. But I'm gonna read it. It says, yeah, I know what you did, but baby, I'm grown. And my love is patient and kind and ish. If this is real, we can build through different types of ish. If you was the realest, wouldn't be fighting it. I think your pride is just in the way. Funny how everything changed. Once you got all that you wanted, nothing was ever the same. And though I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, I still want you. Oh, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, I don't mean to, but I love you. I don't need you, I don't need you. Who knows what that is? I think I stumped him. See where I know?
Is this some Janae Aiko?
Yeah, there you go. I knew you was gonna get it. See,
I'm
Perk
like,
got it too.
I'm like, what the hell? This sounds like some Janae, but I wasn't
That's
sure.
Janae Aiko, yes. As soon as I saw the scenario, I'm like, this is the song. If y'all don't know, listen to the whole lyrics of the song. It sums them up 100%. It's called The Worst. The name of the song is The Worst. And I mean, I think this is just it. You know, I think she likes him. She really cared about him, but his pride got in the way, just like the lyrics said. And I think Cam was trying to play the long game and trying to talk about he's going to do the process. No, it's the process is also about locking in with the person that you find the most connections with. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, although I ride at dawn for Sahara, I definitely do. I wish she would have handled it a little better, but you know, listen, things happen. But I just really wish she, you know, same decision, brought him to the bridge, say I choose myself, but just, you know, like be like, what I wanted was security. What I wanted was reassurance. I didn't want to feel like you were dangling a carrot over my head, you know. And even just if you heard like Cam's, you know, confessionals up until that moment, they need to play their cards right. You know, like that whole attitude, he just had the wrong attitude. And I did hear him say at the end, once he was like, I respect her decision. So I hope, you know, I hope that he can realize, you know, just it's okay, bro. You know, you can settle in, you can lock in on one who you really like, because he was, no matter what his family said, no matter what anybody else said, he was riding for her. He was riding for her in the men's lounge. So ride for her behind her back, in her face, and say it like you mean it. And you don't need to play games with Angie. You know you did not want her. You know you did not like that. You know? So I just, you know, damn. And Cam was singing what's the LaToya Luckett song? Torn in between the two. Well, he was torn in between the zero because he was left with nothing. And I think that's why sometimes, you know, you gotta lock in. If there's nothing wrong with her, if he really liked her, if that's who he was always going to do it, then he should have just been real with her and just rode with her. If he wasn't, then he should have just said, hey, listen, this ain't gonna work. My thoughts.
Damn, you lot was smoking them, boy, innit? Well, at least Cam knows where the smoke lies. It's on this side of the internet. Yes, Steve, go for it.
And I'm also tired of these dudes that would never have options in real life getting on TV trying to embarrass women. Like, I just really don't feel like Cam would be hitting on nothing in real life. He's getting on TV acting like he better than people. But I do agree with Sean, you know, when a dude play in your face again, because these dudes, a couple of them were playing in people's faces. I just hope that she learns just to be a little bit more polished. And she tell him to go to hell in a more polished manner, because then you really get the message across. Because sometimes when you lose your cool and you get emotional, the message don't even get across the way you need to. He needed to know that you don't treat people like that. You don't string them along. You know, you need to provide them security, some comfort. If you're not going to do none of that, then you can get the hell on. Respectfully. Wish you just would have said it more calm, so he really, you know, clocked it the way he need to clock it. And now
Okay, so
union, he trying to be people little boo-boos, be that little boo-boo on their trip to South America, Tahiti, and wherever else. So he's an entire fool.
So my question is, you know, the show has been set up for these past 10 seasons to have a big reveal at the end. I don't think anyone has said anything the day before or a few days before being locked in with someone or whatever, because it's supposed to be a big reveal. So my only thing was that the patience that it would have taken to do that was there. If you know you're that woman, you don't have those questions. If you don't feel like you're that woman, then you know where you are. She could have just walked away. That's all I'm saying. Because if she felt like she was number 2 at any given time, she has the ability to walk away. If she wasn't getting the answers that she wanted, she had the ability to walk away. So you can't make, I mean, Cam is not, I'm not saying, I'm not defending Cam by any stretch. I'm just saying, as far as the behavior from her, to me, if I'm a man on the other side of that and you're in my ear constantly, who you gonna pick, who you gonna pick, who you gonna pick, it's like, yo, give me some air, you know? So that's where I'm coming from for it. I mean, it's a part of the show. Real life versus the show is two totally different things.
The only thing I would say to that, Corey, is you don't think Jay gave Kiara reassurance? We've seen many people through the seasons. Joy and Clifton was locked in. And I mean, people always have this conversation about who's your number one, who's your top person, who are you leaning with? Some people lock in earlier in the process. Joy nearly went in on old girl Takeda. I'm messing up her name. She's now married as well. But people definitely, even those that don't say who they're with or don't make it clear who I'm with, they give that person reassurance. And that's what Sahara was saying. I need to know you've decided. Don't keep dangling this carrot. And that's what he was doing. And we've seen plenty of couples do it, even in this season. Cisco was very clear. As much as we wanted him to do more financially and stability-wise, he was very clear that Tay was his one. He hurried Shanice right on up out of here, even after they did that nude painting scene. So they do it.
They do it. You're right. They do it, but they usually do it earlier in the season. When they start talking my top choice, my number 1, my number 2, that's usually episode 4, 5, 6 round in that area. So it does happen, but I'm talking when it gets down to the end of this, they may have conversations with Tommy about who their number 1 is and who they're leaning towards, stuff like that. But that's not the women hearing it. You know, usually someone else saying it. There have been instances where people have been told they're number 1 towards the end, but not at the very end. Has anyone ever been told you're my number 1? I'm choosing you, especially when they have more than one to choose from. Now, there have been some that say you're my number 1 when there's really the only one, which is the case with Cisco and Tay. Who else did Cisco have to choose from? Once, I forgot her name. Once she left,
Shanice.
after the body, yeah, Shanice. Once Shanice left, then who else did he have? You know what I'm saying? So at that point, he can confess and profess all he wants to because he only has one option. So it's a little bit of a difference whether you have someone else or not. People want to know. The girls always want to know, but they don't cut a fit the way that Sahara did. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she was wrong for not wanting to know. I'm just saying the way she handled it was not good.
Where Coach J done going?
Yeah, I don't know where he went.
Coach J done went to rest.
That sounds like he's on the Lord.
And,
right.
and some of the comments, and this is what I think she picked up on. And that's why I like the fact that not everybody's throwing up different emojis of what the Kojo is doing, eating, bathroom, sleeping, gone.
He dropped.
He said, I upped y'all ante. I'm out. So I just feel like, and this is just me, you know, and I think somewhere along the way, I don't know how she got under my skin in a good way, but I just feel like people have counted her out and discounted her and tried to play her sideways and make her think like, oh, you know, you could just be waiting on the sidelines until I get ready. And I think she was tired of it. She was like, I want to be somebody's first choice. And I respect that. I was the first to say, I think, you know, she could have handled it better, but she did it as authentic as she is. And I think that's why I like her. There's no pretense with her. You know, I'm not going to say I know her character, but she seems like she says what she means. And I think Cam tried to play the longer game with her, and knowing I could see if you're really torn and you're being upfront with that. But every time he talked about Angie, he was like, oh, it's always a sexual thing, but I don't really like her. You know, he didn't really say that, but he was like, I don't like this bust the windows out the car. I don't like this. Like, he would always go to the things that he did not like about her and spent more time talking about that than the things that he liked about her. So if you know you locked in, even when his family was like, oh, we like Angie, blah, 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 he still was like, nah, it's Sahara for me. So be in your true, authentic self. And that's what I don't like. I think sometimes as men, we feel like, oh, we gotta, you know, we can't show or be vulnerable. We gotta hold this. No, let her know, like, listen, baby, I like you. You know, I like you. You and me, we got something. We can work together on things, but I like you. Tell her that. Reassure her. You know, don't be dragging stuff out, trying to be like, oh, I'm torn between who I'm going to choose. You knew what you were doing. You know, and she even said, let me know that you have a choice. He was like, I still don't know what I'm going to do. Bro, come on. Just be like, listen, I got you. We're locked in. And reassure her. Tell her give her some words. She probably likes words of affirmation. Come on. Dragging Angie along like you really want it with her. You don't really like her like that. And that's the part that I didn't really like.
Yeah, I think for me, I need to drive this home. I'm not saying that she didn't have a right to want to know. I'm saying the way she handled it was just immature to me. Her crashing out about it should not have been a thing. When she realized, okay, he didn't have a decision, she had the right and the ability to just drop the whole thing right there. At any given time when she felt like she wasn't the one, she could have done that. She had a choice. She didn't make a choice. She just stayed in it. So you can't make a choice, stay in it, and then be mad at the outcome once you made the decision. So that's all I'm saying.
Kojo internet is on Teddy Riley like versus behavior tonight. So he is in and out of his own live.
He's trying to clock back in.
Wagging cameras out. We struggle streaming tonight, folks. So we struggling like the season tonight. So this is
my
just
best, bro.
Emblematic of the season. That's it. This is what it is.
They got me on throwing my internet, dropping me in and out, but like nobody's business. I didn't hear what anybody said. Well gone. Where we at? Still in Cam and Sahara?
Yeah. We were just talking about, you know, some, you know, just kind of having a little back and forth dialogue about how Cam could have better, you know, like I was saying, and so was Seaway, that we felt like Cam could have, you know, did a better job at reassuring Sahara. You know, he could have done a better job of, you know, making his choice known and reassuring her. And, you know, Corey was giving his perspective too.
Yeah, no, I can't lie to you. He could have. I said that earlier on, that he could have at least given her a heads up if he really wanted her. But I don't think he really wanted her. You know what I mean? So if I really wanted her, I would have given her a heads up so that she can feel a bit more comfortable. Like, hey, look, just act. You know what I mean? Or at least you kind of give the person a heads up earlier, or give them a little bit sense of knowing that you're going to be their choice. You know, it makes things different. But hey, like she said, 12 hours. You know what I mean? So what can we say? What can we say? Yes, this all started off the season with a Google Doc number, and that's where we've landed. Okay. Woo, baby. It's crazy in the dunya. Okay, so I feel like I'm missing somebody. Why do I feel like I'm missing something that happened on the show? What did we miss? Nothing else?
Yeah, we talked about Taye and Cisco. We talked, I mean, I guess we didn't like get to the decisions. I think that's probably all we didn't cover.
Okay.
I mean, we did just cover.
Cameron and Sahara, yeah.
Yeah. But everybody else's we didn't really talk about.
We didn't talk about Jay, Kiara, and Taye, or we don't really talk about Taye and Cisco. We really knew that's nonsense right there. But we'll still talk about them. So Jay, Kiara, and Taye and Cisco, what's our thoughts on them choosing each other? I mean, I can't remember. I saw something. I can't remember. I was watching it, and I don't know if it's the way that Cisco was talking about his, like, what he wants from her. And I didn't really hear the same kind of passionate energy from herself. I was like, I wonder if she's really going to stick with this through. Like, whether she's really going to be in this after, or whether she just wants to be in something. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, but I guess quickly then we could talk about the actual reunion review, which was a bit crazy. So there's probably more craziness in that review than there was in the last scene of them choosing each other. Yes. Taye, Cisco choosing each other. Jay, Kiara choosing each other as well. What's your thoughts on this? Did you pick up anything from their speeches, anything from their talks? I liked Kiara's dress. The black was nice. Any thoughts on their speeches, any guys? Readiness looking hot though.
Seaway, is your mic open?
Seaway is doing work.
I don't even know. I didn't think nothing about their speech. I couldn't really focus on what Taye and Cisco were saying in their speech because I was pissed. So
why were you mad? Tell us why you were mad.
I mean, it just symbolized Black women settling for less in our society, and it just made me upset. Yeah.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah, and he was sweating, and he's just always sweating.
Who was sweating?
There's nothing that man can do about sweat. Okay, there was sweat on him.
Cisco or Jay?
Yep.
Oh.
Cisco.
I thought Kiara and Jay's speech at the little bridge was cute. It's cute, very cute.
Yeah, I mean, again, Kiara looked beautiful. I can never take that away from her. I think she's a really beautiful girl. I think maybe this whole thing, I'm trying to come around to them, to root for somebody at the very least. Now they have this back and forth banter every time, because even when he was giving his speech, she was like, and he was like, what that mean? But you can clearly tell that they like each other. And I would hope that, I think these two, even if they don't work out long term, that they can at least be friends, because I think they have a genuine like for each other. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's at least what you can hope for, because not every relationship works out, but I think they are compatible. They got things to work on, both of them for sure, but they seem to be compatible. So if they don't work out, I hope at least they can be friends and it's nothing crazy. And that's what so far this is giving. I hope the reunion don't tell us a different story, but so far it looks like we're going to try to make this thing work, but then they might have a joint statement. Please respect our privacy. We are no longer together. That social media breakup. Now, Taye and Cisco, I don't see it for them. I'm sorry. They need to move on. Cisco needs to go continue doing whatever he's doing on social media. They chose each other, but I don't think this relationship is destined for the long haul. And I'm sorry for Taye too, because she had the very strict guidelines on time frame, and I think she might have wasted a little time, because I don't think he looks like he's ready to really be serious and hunker down in a relationship.
Okay. Black.
Yeah, I pretty much said what I need to say about everybody. I have some more controversial things to say, but I'll keep those close to the vest. I'm not going to put those out right now because I seem to be on one today where none of these couples are ideal for me. I don't think anyone is ready to love. I don't think anyone makes a good fit. Even Taye, because she ignores the red flags as well. So I think people are setting themselves up for failure. I don't think any of these relationships will last outside of 4 months, in my opinion. Everything's gonna be revealed. That's it.
Well, reunion. What's our thought?
I do think they're gonna do like 3 parts. So this might be one of the first reunions they can probably make 3 parts on. I kid you not.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past them. It's freaking out. This season's been a train wreck. So I wouldn't even put it past them to do so. The reunion looks tasty though. Can't lie to you. Except it's not one of those oversells where they give you all the great shots and nothing actually happens in the actual show. You know what I mean? But the reunion looks tasty. Yummy. What was any thoughts you guys thought looking at the reunion in terms of maybe some of the things that you might have seen? Anything that you saw that was like, want to talk about real quick? Because listen, baby, Rose looked like she was about to hand people out a three-piece combo.
Rose showing a whole different side of her in this one. I could tell it's about to come up. It's about to be explosive. Because she definitely feels some kind of way about Hussein. I don't know why I'm messing up these names tonight. Definitely feel a way about him. So yeah.
Question is, does she have a right to? Does she have a right to feel the way she does?
I mean, in a sense, I do. I mean, everybody has a choice to like who they like and not like who they like. I'm not trying to take that away from Hussein, but the judging part, when he has a past, he has a history. And like I said before, he understands what comes with that and how people will view him. I would think he would have a little bit more empathy to the situation. And then it's nothing that directly impacts him. Him being the other guy being locked up has nothing to do with him and his ability to be in a relationship with her. Unless she said something outside of that on behind cameras that he was toxic, that he got people watching the house, got people watching her and the kids. Now I come to stand him like, hey, I don't want to deal with all that. But with the information that was given, I don't get it.
I hear you. Still trying to find a motive, no matter how far I go. Sorry. It won't let me out because that is what it's giving, bro. That's I mean, you know what I mean? Does somebody have the right to judge somebody else about being in prison if they've been in prison themselves? I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they don't want prison party for their life. Maybe they don't be reminded of, hearing those doors close. Maybe they don't want to see the person, and maybe they're thinking about the fact that if they've been in prison, they know what it takes, and somebody can come out of that space, right? And they may not be okay. So maybe he's thinking safety over everything. You feel what I'm saying to you? Me personally, I can't do it. Okay. All right. Them nagas be coming out crazy when they see that someone else next to their gala. You know what I'm saying? So for me,
Kojo, we lost you. He was on a good one too. Yeah, I mean, listen, even if he did go to jail before and it's something that beyond the juvenile stuff that he already disclosed, I think the point is she was withholding information about that's critical to the relationship. And I think, yes, that's important. And could they have asked better questions? I agree, they could have. But could she? What would be the easier choice for her to disclose that, right? And talk about the fact that, hey, listen, and just be upfront and honest, just like Kiara did. And I think she should too have been upfront and honest and just said it plainly as she said it once it was uncovered. Because she told his friends and family. So
He had
that's
every
how it
right.
came out.
He had every right to be upset. What I didn't like as a man, and again, I'm not sure if we missed it, like we were talking about earlier. I think that's something when they had the conversation, he seemed more okay with it. But in reality, maybe he went home and he wasn't, or he thought about it and he wasn't. I wish he would have just had that conversation as a man, saying, hey, I thought about it. It's not sitting right with me for multiple reasons. He could say, hey, just the fact that it was omitted, I still can't really get past it right now. Or, hey, just the risk factor that comes with that, I'm not really okay with. There's so many aspects of that he's fully in his right not to want to move forward with her. It just comes off very shady that he was more reassuring in the moment. And then, unfortunately, then Cam has to send her home. That's just kind of not cool. I think he owed her a little bit more just to have the conversation. And he said, look, I can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it.
Same.
If your baby daddy go to jail, I said this on another thing, and some people got mad at me. If your baby daddy doing the bid, so are you. I'm not dating you. I'm not dating you at all. Especially not like your baby daddy and just went to the county or something. Your baby daddy went to jail for 10 years. So did you, girl. You might as well do that bid with him.
What bid we doing together?
Well, look who done showed up.
Look what the jailbirds done brought in.
You know who got released? You got released on good
I
behavior.
just got on parole, baby. I'm out here.
Your baby daddy doing a bid.
We gonna call you. What's that lady from Potomac? Karen.
Yeah, baby. I'm on that little house arrest. I got a little ankle bracelet on.
Come on, Jay. You stay off mute. Don't go back on mute. You gonna talk and tell us what your thoughts are since you're here now.
What we talking about? What we got?
We just doing the final summary. What we were just talking about the choices at the bridge. Cam, getting nachos.
Good.
Thinking he had multiple choice. He thought it was a multiple choice quiz, and it wasn't.
Yeah. I'm proud. I'm proud of Sahara. That's what I will say. Some people, I was here riding for her in the beginning. I did say she do need a little bit of etiquette and some little charm about her. She need a little couth about her sometimes. However, out of everybody, the funniest thing is I'm gonna say Sahara is pretty much ready to love because she know her worth, baby. She know her daggone worth, and I'm not mad at it. Don't play with me and not give me reassurance that you really messing with me. Like, if you're going to sit here and leave me in limbo, guess what? I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose myself each and every time. So I'm proud of her for choosing her daggone self, because you want to sit here all the way up until talk about you don't know and you secretly was sleeping with me, which I'm still kind of confused at the cameras for not showing us none of that part or whatever. But I guess that's they little bombshell with what's her name, with Rose and stuff like that. They wanted to drop or whatnot, but she's been showing Cam how she was interested in him the whole time, and he was giving I don't knows. So for when all his options decide that they are limited and ran out, now he want to sit here and circle back to the one who he thought he had in the bag. Nah, don't play with me. Don't do it. So proud of her for that. Glad he was left with his mouth dropped open. I'm curious to know why they didn't show Ange at all. I don't know if y'all brought that up or whatever, but I'm real curious because we didn't get a closing with Ange, which was crazy.
Because she didn't have nobody to meet her at the bridge.
Yeah, but we've had people do that before. We've had people where they had at least their other options, even though we know they wasn't going to choose their options, meet and talk and do all this stuff. So this one time we don't get him talking to Ange or anything like that. We don't get the breakup.
Oh, like Cam. Oh, you saying like Cam could have, or she could have been there waiting for him to bring her the rose and just looking.
Yeah, just looking at something. We just didn't get nothing with her. It was a bit weird to me. Hussein, sir, I'm not mad at the drop off because we know you wasn't really into Ange, but don't come over here talking about since Rose has been gone. Boy, you was the reason she gone. So if you didn't want her, why is you crying now? Like, please hush. I don't know if production made him say the foolishness or not, but that was just dumb to me. You know what I'm saying? It would have been better off now that Rose has dropped his bomb on me. I'm ready to go home because I ain't really got nobody else, but not sit here and be talking about, I just feel some type of way because Rose is gone. You would think, well, you would have really thought he was invested in her like that when you dropped her after one.
That's a good point. That was low-key diabolical. He was advocating for her to leave, talking about he's done, and then upset. He ain't no good.
Don't play with me. That part, Kiara and Jay's situation, you know, I'm glad that they found their little toxic love together. But and let me run this down real quick, okay? If a person you met was flirting with you when they met you, and you fed into that, and that's what you liked, now you want to tell him to stop doing the same thing that you liked about him, but he tell you that's his natural thing. Why are you still talking to him? You don't even know this man enough to even know. And then you got your daggone cousin, sister, friend, whoever she is, talking about, yeah, see, that's a flirt right there. Girl, if you don't get out of his face, you was flirting all up in his face. If anything, the man can't breathe. That's a flirt. He can't chew his food. That's a flirt. He can't walk in the room, but that's a flirt. Like, what? Because he said he flirts now. He just an automatic flirt where everything he does is a flirt. See, you smile right there at the end of the laugh. At the end of the like, what? I don't know. Kiara need not listen to the people that she was sitting there listening to. And I hope Jay's pockets is right, because she about to be all up in them. Her and the friends. The friends was like, yes, girl, we about to party. Like, they about to all be up in Jay pockets. And Jay ain't even about to get no threesome. What the hell?
Jay, how you get there now?
Cause he about to be paying for all of them. He ain't getting none. Because he can't flirt with nobody else. See, the friend.
Listen, Kiara was having a fit about him locking legs.
Right.
You know he ain't gonna get to lock nothing else.
He can't lock nothing else, boy. That is it. But you about to pay for all her friends and they dates. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So if they love it, I like it. You know what I'm saying? Let them have it. Let them do it. Like, enjoy all of that. I guess they had to be the only people we're gonna have at the bridge, because that was about it, right? Did I miss somebody? Who I missed at the bridge?
Cisco and Taye.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Cisco and Taye. Listen, I absolutely is not mad at some of the words that Tommy said. I'm mad at the receivers that he was saying it to. Cause what in the world? Like, and hear me out. Hear me all the way out. There's a time I dated an aspiring actor, and I was ready to be like whatever he need. I was Tabitha Brown with mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know, whatever we got to do to make this boat float. If we got to live off this one income, that's what we gonna do. But I was 20-some years old. He was 20-something years old. We was like figuring it all out or whatever and stuff like that. We had a lot of lifetime in front of us. This woman wants kids in the next 2 to 3 years. She wants marriage before the end. It sounds like he's still trying to figure out where he gonna get a ride from and shelter. How are we gonna do all of this in a year? And I'm not saying that a person can't change their whole life around in a year, but you should already have a game plan in motion. Unless we miss all of that conversation, I don't see how that's happening, especially from somebody who is still trying to be an aspiring actor. Like, what are we in the process of doing? And look, good looking man. I do definitely can see him on some Tyler Perry shows coming up. I know a few people said in the chat last week that Tyler Perry definitely will pick him up. I can see him on Beauty and the Black. I can definitely see him on that. I'm not mad at it. These things have connections. Being on this show will have some connections that but has Cisco been taking classes? What has he been doing? I hear that he got a little commercial out there. I have not seen it. Y'all tell me how the commercial was. But I need to know what has he been doing. And I wish before Tommy gave us that spiel that we seen it. And let's not forget either, Timothy, you had your wife that's currently your wife now on hold for a lot of them years. And you had already made it, sir. So how long is Tay supposed to be on hold? Because Tay, you got to remember who the messenger is sending you this message, okay? You need to fact check Tommy's background before he be sitting there having you all up in tears. Talking about, I just love me some Cisco. No. Tommy had his own wife on hold. And sorry, Tommy, to put your business back out there, but this is out there, public records, that you had her on hold for a long time before you decide to commit to her. So what type of time is you on, Tay? You got Tommy wife time? Because you about to do a bid messing around with Cisco. You about to do a whole bid since we talking about jailbirds. You know, release yourself, sis. I don't know. But yeah. I don't know. I think I covered everybody now.
You
Not
did.
over a decade. High five.
That was beautiful. I think that was the benediction. Shoot, I don't even know what to say now. I think that was a wonderful summation of everything.
Agreed. Wrapped everything on up.
See where you sound like you're fading.
Okay. I'm up.
All right. I know Kojo's been having challenges internet-wise. You back in there, bro? You ready to wrap this on up? And there it is. So 1, 2, 3, and there it is. And we're gonna be able to go. All right. So listen, we had a good old time tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed, you know, us getting some things out, getting our feelings and our full thoughts out on this you know, full season here that was broken up over the last 12 months. I feel like this was like I feel like I was 12 months a slave to freaking Ready to Love. So it is now finally over. Now we have the reunion to look forward to. So let's see what it gives. It looks like the reunion, I don't know if y'all seen them clips coming down the pike, but those clips are clipping. So please, we'll be back here next week. And, you know, to chop it all up, I think, you know, some of the takeaway points for us, you know, listen, use your heart and not your eyes. You know, that's another song, right? You got to use your heart. If you're in love, use your heart. It's okay to use your heart. And for everybody, they need to use their heart in different ways. We think about Sahara and we think about Cam. Use your heart means be intentional. Let the person that you love know that you love them. Let them know that you care about them. Let them know what your intentions are. Make your intentions known. Very important. Use your heart when it comes to Taye and Cisco. Using your heart. Thank you, C Perk. That's SWV. That's that 90s R&B kind of love, right? So we need to sometimes know that loving somebody sometimes means letting them go, right? I'll see you next lifetime. Again, like Erykah Badu said, right? You know, see you next lifetime. I love you, Tay, but this is not the time. I don't want to get in your way, and I know I got things that I got to do. Nothing wrong with that. Kiara and Jay, I don't know. As long as you can pay them bills, you might be in there, Jay. And just, you know, keep your legs from being locked around other people, you might just manage to be okay. But, you know, emotional regulation is also important. It's also important to own your mistakes when you make them. Don't recreate them, own them, you know, but also effectively communicate when you have an issue with somebody. Don't stonewall, don't ignore, don't punish, but be communicative. I think those are all our key lessons. I think that's all we got. I mean, for the couples that made their way to the bridge, you know, we wish them the best, but I'm cautiously optimistic. So hopefully everybody has a good night. Hope y'all enjoyed us. For those watching on the replay, you know, drop a comment. Let us know your favorite song of the night, your favorite song selection that we dropped in the chat. And hopefully we'll see y'all all back here next week, same time, and we could discuss the first part of this reunion.